All right, let's rock and roll, gentlemen. Let's just see here. Should be live. YouTube always likes to play catch up, though. Let's just see here. Should be live.
I never had a problem with Outcast.
YouTube always likes to play catch up, though. Let's just see here. Should be live.
I never had a problem with Outcast.
I'm gonna turn it down just slightly less. Put that back to the beginning. Cool. Okay. No time like the present. Obligatory double snap because we're reviewing Wednesday today. I would open with the, fantastic day, the typical routine, but holy shit, it's 3 in the morning. Or, I'm sorry, it's 3:30 in the morning, and I simply do not have the mental energy after having witnessed this absolute fucking train wreck. Okay. First off, need to bring up a couple of things off screen here, just to see. Let's see. So we're gonna do first this one. All right, Gomez Adams. A couple things I just want to bring up. I forgot to bring them up before stream. That's my fault, but I want to bring them up in the second matter. I mean, it's fine now. Okay. We'll just look up some Gomez Adams pictures because it's relevant to what we'll be discussing. Because we got to get through the elephant in the room first, right? Let's see. Gomez Adams. Go. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Well, there's a nice one of him and Morticia, but that doesn't really accentuate my point. Here we go. That's a good one. Here. Oh, this is a great double one of him and Raul Julia. But I will. Julia. Okay. Where's a good one here? This is a great one. This is beautiful. I mean, it's going to be a little bit out on the resolution, but you guys can see the idea. You can get the idea here we're going for. What the fuck is that? It's small, but you fucking get it. Oh, Google, when will you ever just show me the actual size of the item instead of thinking that the... whatever. No, we're not doing it. Okay. So, I think that's sorted. We got, like, some picture Morticia in there, too, right? Yeah, a little bit Morticia, but... it's a good one. I want to get one more in here. Holy shit. Google, can I please get the actual... The resolution literally says down here that it's like 1500, but you have to go to the site intentionally because they want those sidebar ads to play. There we go. That's a good image of that. I want to make sure I had a nice image of Morticia up there because, again, relevant to what we're talking about. Let's see. Okay. The smiling bit, you guys get it. I'm not even gonna really need those up as an example. Okay. So, Wednesday, the show on Netflix, adaptation, directed by Tim Burton. But that is a total misdirection, just as it was with No Way Home? No, Multiverse of Madness. There we go. It's complete misdirection, just as it was with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, saying, like, oh, we've got Sam Raimi directing. Yeah, but you didn't have Sam Raimi fucking write the thing, and you had no one who respected the source material write the fucking thing. I mean, it's not even about respecting source material. It's about writing something good. And then you can throw the source material on top of that. They didn't even do that. Okay? So, Tim Burton directing this means nothing. It means it's got a decent aesthetic in certain areas. Does not mean shit for the story, for the entertainment, or for the characterization of the Addams family. Now, elephant in the room. Okay, we're going to go over what Gomez is supposed to look like. Now, if you're like me and you've seen, you've seen the comics, right? You've seen the show, you've seen the movies, right? Mainly, a lot of people have seen the movies with Raul Julia, right? And, you got a couple of different versions of Gomez to pull from. Actually, I'm just going to use this version because we don't really need two versions of that. This one I'm keeping for a specific reason. Actually, this one would be better. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm just minimizing the amount of images I have to click between. Okay. So here is Gomez Adams. Now, he is portrayed by, I'm going to make sure to put some respect on his name, because I don't want to disrespect the actor, because I do think Luis Guzman, okay? I want to make sure it was Luis Guzman. I was thinking it was Guzman for some reason. No, it's Guzman. Luis Guzman is the new Gomez Adams, and my God, I love the man to death. I really do. He's funny. I've seen him in a couple other movies. He's great. Fantastic. Tim Curry? The fuck? Hold on. Sorry, side note. When the fuck was Tim Curry involved with the Addams Family? Hold on. Oh, Addams Family Reunion. That's the one he was in. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's a version of him. Yeah, we don't talk about this. Yeah, this, we do not talk about this. this is a fever dream. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Luis Guzman, he plays the new Gomez Adams, right? And like I said, I love the actor. I really fucking do. But he had zero material to work with. They fucked up Gomez Adam. They fucked up they didn't fuck up Morticia Adams as much, and we'll get on to why that is later. They fucked up Pugsley, and they fucked up Wednesday to an extent. And again, we'll get on to why that is later. Lurch, he appeared in like 3 shots in the entire thing. You know, just kind of driving the car to and fro. That's about it. For some reason, he has a glass eye in this one. I don't know, or something funky going on with his eye. I don't know what that was about. But Lurch, as Lurch does, just kind of, you know, good Lurch. Love it. Beautiful. Thing, also great. Fester. They could not decide what they want. They couldn't decide if they wanted Fester to be like the show Fester. He's really obnoxious. And he's like, this all the time, you know? He just, like, that kind of Uncle Fester. Or they wanted, Christopher Lloyd's, from the Addams Family movie, Christopher Lloyd's Fester. And Christopher Lloyd's Fester has that same manic energy, but he doesn't have that certain voice and that certain sort of, you know, childish, like, giddy, right? He has morbidity, but he doesn't have that sort of, like, you know, kitty obnoxious attitude that Fester had in the original. And that's not to say it's bad that he's obnoxious. In the original show, it's played very well, but because he's the one obnoxious character, right? Other people, everybody fills kind of a specific role. In this case, they couldn't pick it, and all it ended up being was boring, 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 as most of this is. But to get this out of the way, this is Luis Goodman. This is Gomez from the comics, which is the only thing anyone could pull from to cite why they cast Luis Goodman, right? Now, do I have a problem with them casting Luis Goodman? No. I have a problem with them fucking up Luis Goodman. Because if we look at Luis Goodman in Addams Family, right? We look at Gomez, they done fucked him up. You would think he would look like this. We're going to do a nice little comparison of what he actually should have looked like and what he ended up looking like. This is a perfect picture of all 3 of them. Could not have asked for a better picture. Thank you, whoever took this picture. I could ask for a better picture if Google would give me the fucking thing. Hold on. We're gonna get that actual picture when Google stops fighting me on this, because it is fucking ridiculous. Where is it? That I have to open somebody's link to get to their page, to get to a photo, to then... Oh, it's not even a photo. It's in a video piece, but for some reason the thumbnail appears on... Whatever. Fuck it. You seen it. Whatever. Point being, this is what you think Luis Goodman should look like. You know, the hair's kind of styled back. He doesn't look too bad. That's not what he ended up looking like, boys. That's not what he ended up looking like. We're going to go back to this image just because it's, you know, it's decent. It shows off the family pretty good. I'm just going to leave it here. Honestly, it's fine where it is on the screen. Oh boy, here we go. So, you can see Luis, his hand's kind of blocking it, but you can see he's got this wavy haircut. His fucking mustache, like, my god, man. I mean, if we check this other one, I actually would not have minded if they gave him more of the goatee. I honestly would not have been that mad if they just left the fucking goatee. Because that's what everybody knows Luis Goodman as. He's got that goatee Van Dyke thing going on. And it looks pretty good on him. Oh, this is a perfect one to show it off. So you guys can see how fugly he is. Like, and not Luis Guzman, the actor. Luis Guzman as Gomez Adams is a fugly motherfucker. Like, he looks even worse than he did in the comics, you know? And some people will use that as a defense and be like, oh, he was always ugly and had a misshapen head. Cool, I don't mind the shape of his head. The fuck did they do to his hair? This is strike one. This is what told me this shit was gonna be bad. And episode one is a fucking lie, okay? They start episode one. Episode one has some really good jokes that I chuckled a good fair bit in the first episode. And I didn't give a shit about the story because the story is pathetic in this, but at least it had some jokes. After episode one, after they've hooked you in, you're waiting for that next dopamine hit of an Addams Family joke, a quick quip from Wednesday that's morbid. You know, that's what you're waiting for. And it happens maybe once in the first episode. I would say it happens like every scene with her. And then it happens maybe once every 3 minutes. And then it happens once every 5 minutes. Every episode that draw out the comedy, right? And my God, now there's some great moments, but holy shit. So, to get this out of the way, to sum up what I'm saying here, he shouldn't look like this. Because we have... I'm drawing a blank now on the name. Fuck me. I can't remember now. I honestly, God, is it Daniel Pike? Is that the guy? Hold on. I'm typing it too much. I need to go Gomez Adams actor. It'll pop up, I'm sure. John Astin. That's the one. I knew it was John something. So, John Astin, in the original, which I have been watching on Tubi, you guys should check it out. It's fantastic. The commercials, it's a totally free site. You can drop in. You don't even need an account. You just drop in, start watching stuff. It's great. But in the original, this is John Astin, right? This is John Astin in the original show. This guy set the tone. Look at the hair. The hair, the roundness in the face, the sort of doopy ears, the mustache, the eyes. It's there. It's fucking there. You can tell, right? You know, and I'm not against the idea of Luis Goodman being Gomez Adams. I'm really not. It's just that they designed him poorly. He looks stupid, right? We got the pinstripe suit. We got the tie, right? Here we got the tie, but again, we've seen him in other get-ups where, you know, he's got different wardrobe. Raul Julia in the movies goes through different wardrobes. He does at one point start wearing the old pinstripe suit, which is pretty good. And this is what he looks like. What does the modern take around the 90s look like, right? This is the modern take on Gomez Adams, or at the time it would have been considered modern. He's got the slick back hair instead of this. Why? This is a popular hairstyle. Okay, back in the day, it's not a bad little haircut. This is a popular Playboy hairstyle now. You know, the slick back hair. He looks good. You know, lets us see his forehead. Lets us, you know, see Raul Julia's face. Doesn't distract from it. And both of these work. Both of these are fine. His mustache is thicker than Raul's. Raul's is fine. It's a nice pencil thin mustache. Cool. The fuck is happening on his lip? You know, again, and it's a thicker mustache. I don't mind it, right? I don't mind the mustache so much. It's that everything kind of works against Luis Goodman here. In that the face is correct. They fucked up everything else with the hair and the way he talks, right? They gave him zero screen direction. They completely fucked up the way he's supposed to talk because both John Astin and Raul Julia have a specific way of talking, right? John Astin has this old radio kind of voice, you know? Raul Julia, he plays into that Playboy persona, right? In those movies, it's, you know, this big thing of like, I'll show you guys some footage later of what I'm talking about where Luis Goodman just does not deliver. And I know the man can deliver his lines. I know he can. I've seen him in other movies and he's funny as hell. This director, I mean, Tim Burton directs it, yes. But I guarantee there's some snippy little studio head writing it like, no, he has to say it exactly like this. I've seen Tim Burton's work. I know it's good. I've seen Luis Goodman's work. I know it's good. Why does this fail? It has to be in the writing. It can't be could it be that Tim Burton directed a shitter? Yeah, maybe. Possible. But it's just not going to happen. So, here's the thing. Raul Julia, you know, they say a man who defends himself defends himself in court as a fool for a client. Well, I am that fool, you know. And I think he throws out God is my witness in this there as well, you know. Sorry about the window, judge. Keep the ball. I've got plenty. He's got, oh, que era mia. He kind of plays in that Latin vibe, right? Which is fine. Okay? Luis Goodman just delivers his lines. It's like he's there for a paycheck, you know? He's just kind of delivering the lines, simple, whatever. There's even points where we have a fucking flashback to a young Gomez Adams and a young Morticia at the Nevermore Academy, right? Which is where Wednesday currently is. And those younger actors did it better. I do not ask me how, but they were more indicative of that energy up to a certain point, and then of course they ruin it with modern sensibilities. But this is the thing: Luis Goodman, he's just not Gomez. He's not. You can't convince me otherwise. I've heard the arguments, and I've explained to people how translating from a comic to screen doesn't really work when you've already translated from comic to screen and then from screen to screen. There is an expectation, even in the animated movie. Even in the animated movie, they did a... Now, this one goes straight to the comics, right? And notice how he's not even fugly in the animated series. He's actually not that bad looking because it's all part of the style, right? Gomez, they pull these directly from the comics. This is a 1-to-1 translation from 2D to 3D. Look at the hair. The hair is the same. The eyebrows, the mustache, the sunken eyes with the, the right? You can see it. It's all a 1-to-1 translation over here, right? I'm going to put it over here. You can see it. Look here. Look very carefully. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam. Look at it. He's even got that turned up pig nose thing going on. A direct translation of the comics, and I don't mind it. It looks fine. And the animated energy, I've seen this movie. Me and the boys went out to the theater. We were going to watch something. I think it was sold out or something, or we just kind of, we did the thing where it's like, yeah, let's go to the theater. We'll see what's playing. Happened to see this, check some reviews. People were saying it was okay. We were expecting it to be like just some dumb animated film, right? Because it's like, it's the Addams Family? How could the Addams Family be like a good animated film? And we go in and it's like, oh, damn, this is actually fucking good. And it was funny, and the art style's great and everything. Every screen version, you have 3 you have to compete with. You have to compete with John Astin, Raul Julia, and, the animated version of Gomez. And the animated version being a 1-to-1 with the comics. You cannot make what they did to Gomez in here. You can't. And expect people to go, oh yeah, it's fine. No, it's not fucking fine. You fucked up Gomez. I like Gomez. I love him as Raul Julia. I love him as John Astin's version. It's great. It's fucking great. This is up for a reason. We'll get to that in a minute. But it's great. But no. And it's not a racism thing. And trust me, they reinforce that as well. They have him dropping. Gomez Adams is in this show 2 different episodes. And he's in it for like 4 scenes total, I think. 4 or 5 different scenes. Across, the 2 episodes. This episode and then like episode 4 or 5, something like that. And he's got a couple of different scenes. And I swear to God, every conversation, he was dropping some sort of Spanish word in the middle of his English. Which is something, like, did we see Raul Julia do that? Yes, but he did it with Latin. He did it with French. He did it with other, these other Romance languages. Because he didn't play up the Latino angle, right? The Spanish angle. Because... Is he technically Spanish? Yeah, sure. Gomez. Yeah, why not? Don't care. They reinforce it so fucking hard in this. And it's obnoxious because they didn't need to, right? That's not the point of his character. He's not just supposed to be some fat Mexican, okay? And I'm not saying that he's a Mexican. The character Gomez, his ancestors come from Spain, whatever. The show itself, the Wednesday show, says that his ancestors came up through Mexico. From, like, colonizers that went to Mexico, and then they came up through Mexico, and now they're here, right? Which makes no fucking sense, when you could have just said they came from Florida, because Florida used to be a Spanish colony. It used to be owned by the Spanish. It was then sold from the Spanish to other people, because nobody wanted Florida, because it was swamp. You couldn't do anything with swamp. It was like, fuck it. There's nothing down here but swamp. And, holy shit. Okay. So that gets it out of the way. I don't like Gomez Adams, portrayed by Luis Goodman. Why? Not because I hate Luis Goodman. I love the guy. I've seen Waiting more times than I can count, and he's one of the best parts of that movie. Fucking love that movie. I loved him in Boogie Nights. Fantastic. Right? So the problem is not with that. The problem is in that how they portrayed a character and an actor that I love. I love Luis Goodman. I love Gomez Adams. I do not love this version of Luis Goodman Gomez Adams. Okay? Now that that's out of the way. All right, let's proceed. So I'm gonna skim through this as fast as I can. There's 8 episodes. I gotta go quick. Trust me, you're not missing much at all. Now again, there's some good bits in here. There's some bad bits in here. Okay, so I'm going to 1.5 times speed, which is how I watched the entire series, by the way. After the first episode, I couldn't bear it in the second. I watched the first and the second at normal speed. By the time I got to the third episode, I was like, this is boring as shit half the time. Let me skip to just the jokes, and I'll pick up the jokes at 1.5 times speed. Because I would put it at 2 times if I could have, but Netflix only goes up to 1.5. Okay. So here's Wednesday. She's going through. I'm going to mute it, whatever. She's going through, she's doing her thing. People get out of the way because she's the weird chick, whatever. Her fucking dudes are here fucking with her locker or something. Oh, there's Pugsley. Okay. This is the part that I despise. What names? I don't know, look at him. He's fucking Pugsley Adams, and he's crying like a baby back bitch. This is not Pugsley. Pugsley don't act like this, but okay, I overlook it. Fine. There's a different Pugsley. Fine. Okay, I overlooked that part. So, she does her thing. Here's the part that really started to annoy me. When they gave Wednesday supernatural powers. This is bullshit. They give her, like, this thing, and, like, they start making up this shit that, like, Morticia was, like, that was part of her thing, is she could see visions of shit, past and future and whatever. And I'm thinking, damn, that's not canonical at all in any way, shape, or form. So we got the guys. We got the pool scene from the trailer. I'm not even gonna bitch about it because I already did anyway. It's stupid. It's blood driven. It's way too morbid. It's not even funny morbid. It is stupid morbid. She doesn't even do the full smile either. She gets this little half smile thing. Like she gets that. That's about as far as it's gonna go with the smile. It goes no further than that. Okay. So let me have them in the car. And here's Louise. And so you can see. Look at Lurch's eyes. What the fuck? I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it because my webcam here. Hold on, let me. There we go. So look at Lurch's eyes. You can see, like, there's something fucked with his eyes. Like, this eye is a different color than this eye. They're both rolled up into his head. I don't mind it. It's Lurch. He's on screen for like 2 seconds. Okay, big deal. So go to the back seat. Here's the Adams, and they're singing along to the radio, whatever, right? And they're cara mia, they're doing their thing where they're kissing. Okay, cool, whatever, fine. So they're talking. Okay, so this is the part I want to show you guys. I want to show you him talking because his delivery is just fucked, right? I'm gonna put it at normal speed as well. I don't care about the copyright. I'll fight the copyright on this one. Don't care. Moving on.
Please remind my parents that I'm no longer speaking to them.
Right. So this is a recurring thing as well, that Wednesday has this whole teen angst angle going on, which does not work for her character at all. It's fucking aggravating. She has this, like, Gomez, he's just kind of there, right? Not much going on. He's just around, which is bullshit because Gomez has always been the centerpiece of the Addams family. So, but again, we'll get on to why. So, Wednesday and Morticia are having this little spat back and forth the entire season. 8 episodes of this shit, right? Luckily, Morticia, since Wednesday is away from her parents and she's off at school, right? We don't have to see that on screen too much. Again, this episode, like 4th or 5th episode, the parents show up for Parents Weekend, and that's about it. That's the amount of spatting we see between them. It's ridiculous.
I promise you, my little viper, you will love nevermore.
Love nevermore, He just...
Won't you, Tish?
Of course you will. It's the perfect school for her.
Why? Because it was the perfect school for you?
This part pisses me off. This idea that Wednesday Adams would not want to be like her mom, right? The bit in the Addams family that is important is that they love each other, right? No matter what. Making Wednesday this angsty teen that doesn't want to be her mom. We saw this in the animated film. In the animated film, she has a little rebellious streak when she, when she goes to meet the new neighbors or some shit. I don't know. And, like, I don't remember exactly. But the point being is she starts hanging out with this normal girl, and the normal girl gives her, like, like Barbies or whatever. So Wednesday shows the normal girl how to be more goth to rebel against her parents, and the normal girl shows Wednesday makeup and putting her hair up in bows and shit. So she comes home with, like, a Barbie and makeup and her hair's in bows, and that's fucking hilarious. Because then Morticia comes in, and she's like, oh my god, my daughter, she's a lost cause, That's funny, because it's played for a joke. It doesn't go on for 8 episodes of this shit. It doesn't mischaracterize Wednesday as hating her mother. Like, why? Because it was perfect school for you? That is some shit you would hear on somebody's Instagram, man. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I have no interest in following in your.
Yeah, I have no interest in following in your footsteps. Yeah, I'm not gonna be a housewife. I'm gonna be strong and independent. Where have we heard this shit before? She doesn't say it in so many words, but over 8 episodes, you will find out that she does that. Okay, so we get to this guy. He's going for a little hike in the woods. He's hiking near the school, and he gets attacked by a monster and killed. Let's see what else. So it's Principal Weems, right? So here's Nevermore Academy. They go see the principal.
I bet this place won't be any different.
I believe what our daughter's trying to say that
Okay, so she just said, they haven't built a school yet that can hold me, which I thought was kind of
she
funny.
greatly appreciates the opportunity.
So right here, this is what I'm talking about. He doesn't put any flair into it, no energy. It's just, how do I explain it? It's just Luis Goodman being Luis Guzman, And it's kind of aggravating because I know the man can act. I know the man can get some energy and some pep to him. I don't know what the fuck they had him on for this production. I don't know if he was just phoning it in. Like, he was really just saying the lines as easy as they could come out.
You're an excellent ass.
We'll see if she survives the first session.
Yeah, so this is like she's going to court-ordered therapy, right? That's what they were talking about. This is her roommate, Enid. I actually like Enid a lot. Not a bad character. Excuse me. She is a werewolf. But, of course, she can't fully do her werewolf thing, right? The best she's got is her claws come out, which is pretty funny because they're, like, her claws are painted, or her nails, right? But they grow into, like, longer claws. But they're still painted, like the ends of the claws, like, all of it's painted all the way down. So it's, like, the idea that maybe she, like, points her claws out and then paints them fully, so when they retract, they're still colored. That's a funny bit to me. So Enid is, of course, Pollyanna, right? She's all, yeah. So she's the foil for Wednesday. And, she's actually not a terrible character. Because, Wednesday is an awful, awful person in this. And not, like, in a morbidly fun way. Not like Addams Family Value, where she ruins the Thanksgiving play by torching the fake set and everything and roasting the fucking counselors over a fire and shit. That shit's funny. Wednesday's just awful to all of the people around her and constantly gets them in trouble and in danger, and it's just not Wednesday. She's just, okay, so we have this little tour, right, of like, well, what is Nevermore, right? So there's a couple of different cliches going on here. We've got vampires hanging out, we've got werewolves hanging out, and we've got the scales, as they call them. These are sirens. So each of them is like the fangs and the furs and the vampires and the werewolves. And then we get to the scales, and the scales are sirens, right? So think mermaid, basically. And the typical shit. They use siren song, manipulate people's minds, and whatever. So this chick right here, that's dipping her hand in the water, that's Bianca. She's like the queen bee, mean girl shit. This guy's a Gorgon. I like this guy. He's kind of neat. He's completely underutilized in every fight sequence in the rest of the film. Like, he's a Gorgon. Anyone that looks at him, right, with the snakes, that's why he wears the hat. So you can see a little snake poking out. But anybody that looks at the snakes, he's a fucking Gorgon. So obviously, they turn to stone. Now, temporarily, they establish that in the show that it's only temporary that people get turned to stone. But still, it would have been helpful later in the season. Just conveniently fucking forgot about that guy. He just happens to never be around when they need him. So here's Pugsley, he's giving her a hug, whatever.
You're soft and weak.
This is a recurring thing. And again, Wednesday is being angsty teen, so she's being a dick to, like, everybody. But they really hammered home that Pugsley is a fucking baby punk bitch, and that, basically all the men in this. So this is where we start seeing, like, it wasn't too bad in the first episode. I thought it would wear off eventually. Never does. There is a strong feminist angle to this, and I do not care if they're, like, I like that she goes through this little character arc and she eventually, like, unleashes her power and whatever at an exceedingly convenient time, but fuck it, I don't care, it was kind of cool. The problem is that in order to elevate the women of the show, they make them the only competent people. Like, even the sheriff, who is the most competent male in the entire show, is still so incompetent he doesn't do basic police work. And I'm like, come the fuck up. There's no way. There's just no way. So they're having this back and forth. She gives her this little fucking amulet thing. Where the fuck is it? There you go. She's holding it in her hand. You guys saw it. So she gives her this little amulet, and it's like, oh, it's made of obsidian rock. It'll amplify a witch's power or whatever. So basically, Wednesday wears it. It makes her vision stronger, etc., etc. They give her little orbs that can talk to her later. This dude got tore the fuck up. Here's his arm. His head's over there. His torso's over here somewhere. So this is the sheriff with his diversity hire, deputy, right? And again, I don't mind. Not a bad character. She played it just fine. It's just that plus-sized black deputy, female. Come on, y'all. Like, look at this guy. This guy looks like small-time sheriff. Does this look like small-time sheriff to you? No. But we're putting it in there because reasons, It's like, damn. Like, and again, I don't have a problem with it being there, but you know why it's there, right? You know why they put this character in the show, right? It's that damn diversity fucking quota that finds its way into everything. Do I have a problem with it? No. But it's just fucking everywhere. And I know that they're not doing it because they want to. They're doing it to get fucking brownie points from people and understand, like, oh yeah, oh yeah, see, we're diverse. We have a diverse cast. That's the only reason Louis Goodman, let's reiterate this. The only reason Louis Goodman was cast for Gomez Adams is because he is, like, stereotypical Latino with the dark skin, and he's dropping, the bilingual Spanglish in there, dropping some Spanish words in the middle of English sentences. That's the only reason they cast him. Let's be clear about that. So here's Wednesday. This is kind of neat. They've divided up the room with the duct tape down here, and she's peeling off the wall and whatever. She's like, the whole window was covered. Her half the window, she's peeling off all the cool sticker, design things that make it look like stained glass.
Shovel. Hole.
Okay, so they're talking about, like, texting. They're talking about emojis.
When I look at you, the following emojis come to mind. Rope, shovel, hole.
That's a good one. She has about one of those every time she opens her mouth in the first episode. It's fucking great. It's exactly the energy I wanted. It goes away immediately after the first episode. You get that maybe once in a while. I'm going to crank this back up to 1.5. So I'm going to spoil some shit, obviously, with this review. Just because, fuck it. There's not really much to spoil here. This is the bad guy. I called it from this first episode. With these muddy-ass boots, I knew she was the bad guy, right? I knew it. I knew she was going to be the bad guy. I knew it. And she's like the fucking, she's like the descendant of a guy who was a dick and burned some witches in the town and yada, yada, yada. The typical stuff. And, oh boy, we all know it was a reference to Columbus and white colonizers. They do that in a later episode. It's fucked, man. Wednesday burns the statue of him for no reason, right? Not even like a Wednesday, haha, I want to do this reason. More like a, I just hate this, so I'm going to destroy it reason. And it's like, you can just tell it's a fucking insert for, insert Confederate statue here type shit, And it's like, do I necessarily disagree with that? No, because Wednesday won it, but we'll get to that later. So here's the fencing competition. One of the only things that kept me watching throughout the show is the fact that Wednesday is not perfect. She will get humbled at certain points, right? Starting here with the fencing match. She wants it, military style, right? It's a military challenge. So they're doing it with no face protection. It's the first to draw blood, right? So what's amazing is Bianca actually gets a swing on her heroine. She's not a Mary Sue. She actually does catch a cross to the face right about... Well, you hit her already. Come on. There it is. Okay. So I'm not going to show it. She got cut across the face. She gets a little boo-boo. She gets, a bandage, whatever. And that's not bad. This guy, Rowan, red herring villain, right? He's actually trying to, like, stop people because of some prophecy or some shit. He's trying to, like, kill Wednesday at one point. And he's, like, dead immediately. Killed by whatever this mysterious creature thing is. This guy ends up being the mysterious creature. He doesn't know it. Except it's pretty fucking obvious that it's him. Because he has... This guy's not it. It's the other guy. But this guy is a psychic. His dad's a psychic. He is an artist. And he can, like, fuck with paintings and stuff. And, like, he'll do, like, a drawing and it'll come alive, Like, that kind of shit. And so this guy was, like, painting all the time. And I guess he was picking up the brain waves of the other guy. And so he was painting the monster the whole time. So, again, another red herring they throw in to try to misdirect you. Let's see. Yeah, she had a gargoyle dropped on her, Thing is visiting, right? Thing is here to spy on her, to keep an eye on her for the parents, which is, like, I love Thing. He's great. Thing is the best part of this whole series. basically watch all of the clips. I'm sure somebody will put together a compilation of jokes. Watch that and watch all of a compilation of like thing on screen. And there you go. All the entertainment out of Wednesday has been gotten for you. Because holy shit, you know? It just doesn't work, you know? And so she's threatening to lock him in the drawer, and he's like, no, don't put me in the drawer.
And we both know how vain you are. Option 2. You pledge your undying loyalty to me.
I love this. This is hilarious. He like bends down on one knee, which is like his knuckle.
Our first order of business is to escape.
I love that. Okay. So then they go to, she gets taken to town. She goes to the therapist, right? The therapist, another red herring. They make you think the therapist is the one. And the way they try to do that is they do this Frankenstein's monster bit with the like big bad at the end of it, where they resurrect the old like asshole pilgrim guy I was telling you about. And they show a shot of her random as hell. That's like, it's showing a bunch of different people planning all this. It could be him. It could be her. It could be whatever. No, it's the fucking dorm mom that I called from episode 1. I fucking knew it immediately. It was just that predictable. It's like random woman shows up with a flower and muddy boots in the middle of the night or the middle of the day, whatever the fuck, right? With like, she shows up to the new guy's place, muddy boots. I wonder why. And it's basically confirmed in like I think the second episode they go to town and do like a horror festival thing, but it's not her. She's red herring. They show her like taxiderming animals, and so when it's revealed later that the people getting murdered had like parts of their body surgically removed, that's supposed to make you think it's her, not her. So let's see. They're having a little back and forth. They're just going back and forth, yada yada.
Is strictly confidential.
See, and this is the part that I hate, is that Wednesday's like, I don't want to be like my mom. And then she's directly questioned with, okay, well, what life do you want then?
About becoming an author? I understand you've written 3 novels about a teen girl detective, Viper Dillon.
Yeah, so Viper de la Muerte, it's clearly a self-insert character, which is ironic as hell. So she's self-inserting herself into her own fiction, writing these novels about Viper de la Muerte, right? And Gomez calls her Viper, right? So, okay, yeah, we see the connection here. So she goes to break out and escape and whatever. She bumps into this guy, gets this vision of him dying, and later it happens, and that's how she predicts future. This is the bad guy. Well, a pair of bad guys. So he's the monster that's helping the one chick, right? And he's like a Jekyll Hyde guy, and plot twist, he's actually fully in control of it and is lying to Wednesday the entire time, the whole fucking time. He's just absolutely lying to Wednesday. So she's trying to get him to take her out of town, right? So she can run away, yada, yada, yada. These dicks just come out of nowhere. This is such a staged fucking bullying event, which is just like, they see that she's from Nevermore. They come in to bully her because they work at Pilgrim World, which is, around here we call it Cracker Days. It's like this, ye olde fucking village shit.
What's
so
the Nevermore freak done
yeah.
in the wild? This is our booth.
Why are you 3 just like religious fanatics?
Okay, so this guy is the son of the mayor, and the mayor also owns Pilgrim World, which directly benefits from the reputation of the town doing the pilgrim shit and stupid story shit no one cares about. So they go to attack her. Of course, she single-handedly defeats them, which we saw her fencing, so I give her a slight pass on that. Again, 3 attackers would have just... look at her, man. Like, there's no fucking way in the real world that would have not resulted in them at least, like, bopping her on the head or something. But she just defeats them easily. Like some kind of fucking kung fu master, one after the other. But again, it's Wednesday Addams. I don't care that much because it's like, okay, we know she's a bit of a fighter, so she's got that kind of angle down, right? So here's the do nothing sheriff, right? This fucking guy, he's so like he is the best male in the entire series, and that's the problem. Even he is incompetent, and he's the best one that's not an asshole, that's not incompetent, or that's not straight up a villain like this guy, right? And this guy's his son, so yeah, son. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go a little bit faster here. Bullshit. She's feeding plant monsters meat, which is kind of a nice callback to the Addams Family like show. Thing is, she's out here doing her little orchestra thing. She's playing on her cello, right? Enid's here. They have this dumbass heart-to-heart where, oh no, Wednesday when she was a child, because Enid's like, don't you ever cry? And, Wednesday tells her this tragic story of that time that some boys ran over her pet scorpion, Nero, even though she never had a pet scorpion. She had a pet spider in the show, but she never had a pet scorpion. Strike fucking one. But okay, we assume she gets more pets at a later date, so fine. She's got a scorpion. They run it over and they make her watch as they run over her pet scorpion. Does she do anything about this? Never told that. Never at all. We don't know. I would like to assume yes, but I assume no because after this she no longer cries. She cried her little black heart out for Nero. Oh no, her precious little scorpion. Does that sound like an Addams to you guys? No, Addams don't get sad. They get even, okay? You fuck with an Addams and they will blow up your house. I mean, dude, you look at an Addams the wrong way and people are afraid that they might come over and curse you. That's the whole point, is that the Addams are scary motherfuckers. But they also try to be nice. They try to be hospitable when they interact with normal people, right? They try to welcome people into their home, and that's the original comedy of it, is they do what they think is good neighborly things, but it's always misunderstood, and it's always they're always the odd man out. That's the funny part. So by putting her in the school with everybody else who's I'll give him credit, at least everybody else is still somewhat normal compared to Wednesday. I don't know how that's possible in a school full of vampires and werewolves and shit, but hey, here we go. So here's the little festival thing. So the guys from before, this is the part that gets me. She gets, the guy with the teddy bear to distract the one chick that's spying on her to get away from him. These three show back up. They are actively walking towards Wednesday as she backs up and starts running the other way. They're coming past all these people over here. 3 adolescents carrying baseball bats at a fucking festival. And nobody notices. Not one adult stops them like, hey, what the fuck are you kids doing? No, the mayor's son, who everybody... This is a small town. Jericho is a small town. Everybody knows that this is the mayor's son. Why is the mayor's son walking around with a baseball bat and his boys? What the fuck are they doing? Are they playing baseball at night? What's going on? No one questions it. They just let them walk right afterwards. What the fuck? Okay, so Rowan goes into the woods. She's trying to stop him because she saw a vision of him dying to the monster. He tries to kill her because he's got telekinesis, and he saw her in a picture. His mom was a seer, and she drew the picture of Wednesday fighting some guy, and the school was burning. Here's the big monster that the other kid turns into. So this is the picture, right? Or half of it, and then she finds the other half later. And, it's a prophecy. Of course it comes true eventually, and Wednesday saves the day. Yeah, cool. So here's a siren, here's Siren Lady. Where the fuck is she using the siren shit on? Yeah, so this is all just, future stuff. This is, this season. I skipped over it because I'm gonna watch the season. I'm not gonna fucking watch, this season to get excited about it. No, I'm just gonna watch the fucking show, Okay, so we're on to season 2. Or we're on to episode 2, I should say. So we go into episode 2. They're looking for this monster. They're looking for Rowan's body. Can't find it. Whatever. They can't find the body. Can't find the body. Can't find the body. They're talking, blah, 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 story crap, don't care. There's some bad blood between the sheriff and Gomez Addams because Gomez was, framed, sort of, for a murder, but he, the charges were dropped or whatever. It was never, he was never convicted for it. So the sheriff, who was a deputy back then, was, is pissed at Gomez. So he's saying oh yeah, your dad was a murderer, yada yada yada. Fake drama bullshit no one cares about. So here's the kid that died. He's suddenly not dead. Okay, cool. This is the part. Yeah. So the head of the school has left now. Plot twist: she's a shapeshifter because Rowan's here. Let's see. Skip it. Stupid shit. They're getting ready for this boat race thing. It's like the Poe Cup, named after Edgar Allan Poe, who is... I do like the idea that he is, the most famous alumni to ever come out of Nevermore Academy, right? Nevermore, the Raven, etc. There's even a statue to him, whatever. So, let's see. Skip it. Boring. Here's Bianca. So, Wednesday gets told, hey, go check out some of the clubs. Cool. Doesn't matter. She's over here talking to him. He's, of course, missing all of this. This is a fucking perfect replication of Shang-Chi, because we do not understand Wednesday's dexterity at all in this. and she just William tells this shit. So they're having a little back and forth, whatever. She throws this apple in the air
The school's the only
and
thing
just
fucking up their podunk town.
This is the boy whose life was served to him on a silver platter.
Hey, you know, girls in glass houses.
This is
Throw bigger
ridiculous.
stones.
Girls in glass houses should throw bigger stones. Like, this is the stupid part. This is where the stupid writing really starts to come in. Wednesday is saying that he's, you know, a trust fund baby, essentially, because his dad is like this famous psychic who's does shows in Las Vegas. He's like Elvis Presley if Elvis Presley was a psychic, basically. That's my understanding of it. And, you know, so she's like basically calling him a silver spoon trust fund baby. Fucking Wednesday comes in and she's just like, yeah, she's calling him that. He goes back like, yo, what the fuck? You're a hypocrite, is basically what he's saying. And she's like, I don't care. I said what I said. And the irony is completely lost on her, I guess, because Gomez and the Adams sit on a fucking massive fortune and have like a bunch of stocks and bonds and shit. And like, her family got mad money. Her family got stupid money. They could buy whole countries if they wanted to. Well, depending on the size of the country, but you get the idea. They could buy small countries if they were so inclined. And it's just this hand wave snarky comment off her. I don't know why. And then she does this.
An elitist snob.
At least I'm not an elitist snob. Bullseye, William tells this fucking apple out of midair after he has missed 3 fucking times. Now, again, it's later expanded on that Gomez put her through a bunch of training and whatever to prepare her for life. And the only reason I let it go here, the only reason I let some of her skills go here is I can believe it. She's an Adams. Adams are skilled motherfuckers. They are proficient in so many different things, right? They're very, very skilled. So, you know, she's already shown she's a fencer. Okay, cool. I still don't fucking get it. We still didn't get a demonstration of her accuracy other than the fencing, but okay, fine, cool. So she goes and meets Eugene. He's the beekeeper guy. She joins his beekeeper club because she has to join a club. So she joins his club because he's all alone out with this bee shed away from everybody. Great cover. She can, you know, do this murder mystery shit. She's looking to do different shit going on with the school and the monster and all this. So Rowan is leaving. Well, Rowan, who's the shapeshifter here, right? Let's see. So here's Rowan. He's getting tailed by Thing. He goes into the bathroom. He changes into this guy, who then, big reveal, changes into the teacher. So, or the headmaster, or whatever the fuck, the principal Weems. You know, so she's talking to, that and whatever.
I go for quality over quantity.
Yeah. So she's talking to Thing behind the plant, but they can't see it because Thing's not supposed to be there. I love this, how he's like all frozen up, like, somebody's onto us. Hold still. Hold very still. This is why Thing is the only good thing. The only good thing. But this is why Thing is the only good thing in this entire fucking series, is he's just amazing, right? Thing is full pantomime, so it's always gotta be good, and it's always gotta be funny. I hate these stitches. I don't like this whole Frankenstein's monster bit where he's all stitched together. Like, no, not doing it. So this is a really cool part, I thought, where like he makes the drawing of the spider come alive. That's kind of cool. She smushes it, obviously, at some point. So they're talking about this flower. Her and Bianca are going back and forth.
Dendrophylax londonii.
Otherwise known as the ghost orchid.
First is
Yeah, so it's like, I'm smarter than you type scene. Like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. So the dad and the son having it odds. It gets revealed later that, you know, the dad knew that, you know, the mom who's dead, right, in this scenario. The mom is dead. The mom went to Nevermore. The mom was what they call a Hyde, so Jacqueline Hyde, right? So he's actually afraid that his son's going to be a monster like that, and so that's why he's such a dick to his son in these other episodes. Don't ask me. This writing is beyond me. I don't fucking get it. It's just they're just trying so hard with all this teen drama shit, and I never, even when I was that age, I could never identify with the teen drama shit just because it's so forced, it's so contrived, it makes no sense. I just want a decent story, you know?
like a vulture circling a car.
This gets in the way. So, yada yada. She's working on the boat, right? So Enid's working on that. Thing and Wednesday have been having, again, more drama. Drama. So, you know, he wants to
Yes,
talk
say
with
what
her
it is.
and whatever.
What's your point? And I can't let that happen.
Right, so they're talking
Can you
about
find
that. I love this joke right here. This is a great one. Where he puts his hand on her. And then...
Breathe a word of this to anyone and I will end you.
And he just kind of scoots away. It's absolute Thing energy, man. Thing energy is what saved the... It doesn't save the show. It just made it bearable to get through, waiting for the next scene where Thing would pop up. Enid is covering for her, so she's hanging out. So if anyone sees two people hanging out, like, nobody's gonna check on them anyway. I don't know why they did this. It's like, all right, cool, whatever. So she goes out in the woods to look for the creature. He's already out there because he is the creature. Yada yada yada. Here's Rowan in a flashback. You know, they're fighting over this book, right? This Nightshade Society fucking hidden book. Ooh, secret stuff, murder mystery, don't care. Here is the lady again. So this is the villain, right? Again, with her iconic
I
boots.
walked in on 2 vampires banging. I can't unsee that.
Is there something I can help you find?
She's looking into this, right?
This before? It's a watermark from a book I'm looking for.
Look at her face. I mean, she just gives it away right there. Wednesday thinks she's so fucking intelligent, and like staring at her face, it doesn't give it away. Watch her face.
It's a watermark from a
Watch
book
her
I'm
eyes.
looking
Look at how
for.
worried her face is when she sees that.
I think it.
Like she's like, oh shit, she's looking into it. Uh-oh. You know. So talking about the Nightshade Society, some secretive bullshit. It turns out it's just some bullshit club. Bianca's part of it. A couple other kids are, and they just kind of hang out and do bullshit. Let's see. Bianca sabotaged one of the people for the race, and so Wednesday, of course, has to step up. Artificially just inserting Wednesday. Could have had Wednesday like change her mind and want to be part of the race, but no, we had to force an outside conflict. Someone else had to drive the story forward, and just so the universe could insert Wednesday back into the story. And why? Why does this happen? And again, the boat race, not bad, kind of cool, kind of neat. You know, there's no rules, which I'll get to in a minute, but it's so stupid. So all of this just so that Wednesday could be put into this situation where she touches this guy's crypt, and then she gets another vision, and that continues the whole mystery bullshit. Completely contrived, only for storytelling purposes. Yeah. So then, here's these siren guys in the water. They're messing with the boats, like, so that the siren team can win. And there's no rules, so they're totally allowed to do this. These are just extra sirens that aren't in the boat. The problem with saying there are no rules in this competition is kind of vague, because these are the sirens. They are good swimmers, right? Why would 4 of them stay in the boat if there are no rules? The rule is your boat, the only thing is, your boat has to go, you have to go to the island, right? You have to go to the island, pick up the flag, come back, and your boat can't be sunk. If your boat sinks, you're disqualified. That's the only rule, is stay afloat, right? It's a thing about persistence and determination and all that. That's why there's no other rules. Okay. If there's no other rules and I'm Bianca and I want to win, why the fuck would I have my guys sabotaging? Like, if the rules say that all of my participants have to be in the boat, if that's something not set on screen, they never specify that. If we have to be paddling, why the fuck don't I have some of my siren guys get at the back of the boat? There's just 2 of them. There are 2 of them in the water. 2 extra sirens in the water, fucking with the other boats. This is where the writers show how fucking stupid they are that they can't think about something like this. She should be winning this every year, because she just gets 2 of her siren dudes to jump in the water with them, right? 4 people in the boat. 2 people down there, the guys are paddling, and 2 dudes in the back just swimming away, pushing the boat. They get there first, they get the flag, they come back, they push it again, they get there first, they win. How am I finding a more devious, simpler plan than the queen bee bitch Bianca? Like, honestly, I actually kind of like Bianca. There's some more stuff going on with her. Not a terrible character, actually. Let's see. Like, honestly, most of the people around Wednesday are far more interesting than Wednesday. Like, the whole thing with Enid and the Gorgon guy, they end up dating, and it's like, I was actually more interested in them getting together than I was for anything to do with Wednesday. And then the show is fucking named after her. So they win. Ophelia Hall, as they call it, is, you know, like, that's their little chapter, their little, like, part of the school. Let's see, yada, 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 they're talking. This dude got punched by things. This guy at the table. Where is he? No, show me the guy. There we go. This poor bastard. He's in the water pushing Wednesday's boat, and then Thing just dives out of the boat, swims through the water like this, gets up to him, and just boom, just bops him in the face. He's got a little black eye here. Let's see. So here's a statue of Poe. This riddle is fucking stupid. I hate it. And whoever wrote this into the show, I don't even care if it's Tim Burton. I like the man. But if it's stupid, I'm going to call you out on it, Timmy. Okay. She reads this
Not a
book.
single riddle. Rather, each line is its own separate one.
In this
The
book,
opposite of moon.
what is the
Sun,
riddle?
A world between ours.
The riddle is yada yada yada, goes down. It's not a fucking riddle. She just writes down all the words, right? Or like the answer to each line is one word. And the first letter of each of the answers lined up, it says snap twice. Couldn't just make the snapping thing for the atoms. No. We had to give it a reason. There had to be a purpose for it. And of course, Morticia and Gomez were part of this little Nightshade society when they were at Nevermore, so that's where they got the snap from, right? It's not just some quirky thing they did for the intro back in the day. No. We got the snapping for a reason now. I despise this decision. It's stupid. Please, somebody fucking kill me. How does this work? Is it an enchanted statue? Is there a microphone around here? Huh? Nope, don't know. So she breaks into the little secret place. Then the other guys show up that are part of it, Bianca and them, right? And they're talking to her, and they're like, "Oh, you should join us." And she's like, "No, I don't want to be social and all this, and you guys are nerds." And she fucks off, which is fair, It's like, I don't want to be part of your stupid society, whatever. So she finds the other half of the page with the little prophecy drawn on it. Oh my god, like the screen grab of Eden. Oh my god. Okay, so they're about to go to school. So this is the third chapter. This is when they go on like a little field trip to town to like, I don't know, it's like outreach day, I guess. It's like they're supposed to hang out with the townspeople and get them interested in Nevermore and whatever. And so they do like, they go around and they talk to people. I don't fucking know. It's a weird idea. It's like it's an outreach thing. So they go to the village. Wednesday wants to go in this building because she thinks the book she's looking for, the evil book, the other book. So there's like the Nightshade Society book, and then there's the other book that's like written by her ancestor or some shit. Who she doesn't know is her ancestor until like this day. Fucking Rings of Power bitch shows up. This fucking dumb cunt from Rings of Power. Yes, this is the dwarf lady from Rings of Power. And I saw her and I immediately went, that's the dwarf bitch from Rings of Power. Yes, it is. You look it up, it's her. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. So, yeah, I had to be reminded that Rings of Power exist. And if I have to be reminded about it, so do you guys. Enjoy. We're in pain together. Luckily, she has like 2 lines in this entire episode. I don't even understand why her character's around, other than they needed a reason for, Wednesday to trade jobs with this one chick, or with Enid, so that Enid would end up with Ajax and, whatever. That's what entices Enid, which is really funny, because she's like, oh, well, it was with Ajax, but if you don't want to, and she's like, no, never mind, I'll switch, And so they end up in this little taxidermy shop petting, or this little novelty shop, I should say, and they're like, combing the fucking like squirrels together, like the taxidermied squirrels. They're like little dioramas. So these are like a bunch of what I assume are German tourists, not established. She's speaking in German, and she's just talking about all the same shit. Coca beans, oppressed people in the Amazon. This bit I find funny. Yeah, so this is the first of like 3 times she uses the term whitewashing, and I'm just like, fair, but damn, do you need to use the term that much? It starts to kind of grate on you after a while, after you hear it enough. So she's just telling all the German tourists the truth. Yeah, like, that's a very Wednesday thing to do, right? It's very similar to when she ruined the Thanksgiving thing in Adam's Family Values. Cool. I don't mind this joke. It's not a bad joke. I wish the joke would have ended there, but no, you're hard on the anti-thing. This part I don't get. This guy's eating a whole bunch of fudge, right? Not sure why exactly. He's just, I guess he didn't want to interact with people, so he wanted to eat the whole tray and act like he gave out all his samples so that they would leave him alone. It's child labor. Let's call it what it is. This is child labor for these people. I don't get it. So they're picking on him again. I don't get this.
Greedy little freak.
Please, I need to get back to the...
Yeah, he's about to throw up. So this is the part I don't understand. He intentionally throws up on this guy. I don't know why. He stares at him for a solid second. He stares at him for a while. Like, you feel that coming. Trust me, I've thrown up enough times in my life. Unless, even when you're shocked that it's about to happen, you still have some sort of, like, grab your mouth or something. He could have just looked away and barfed on the floor. He intentionally pukes on this guy. Knowing it's gonna piss him off. I don't know why he does it. Like, Eugene's a fucking idiot here. So Eugene's gonna get picked on. And Wednesday shows up to save the day. Woo! Wednesday saving weak, poor, pathetic Eugene. Yeah. So then they go to fight her, and of course they lose again. Not sure why they wanted to fight her again. They already lost to her once. This is the third time they attempt to assault her. The second time being with the bats at the festival, but I mean, the idea that they got their asses handed to them by a girl in a fucking coffee shop, so the immediate next step is obviously, let's take some bats and try to beat her with them? Like, assault with a deadly weapon. Great idea, guys. I don't get it. So she beats the shit out of him, whatever, like, locks one in the stockade, whatever. The action sequences are at least choreographed pretty well. It's just kind of meh. I don't really care to see it. So here's What's-Her-Face, yada yada, villain chick again. Let's see. Here's Wednesday, she's breaking in. She breaks in, that's like the founder guy, or a wax figure of him, basically. She breaks in, the book is fake, the real book was stolen by, guess who, the dorm mom, which, nobody knows this is the dorm mom yet. I knew 5 minutes into the first episode it was going to be the dorm mom. It's so predictable, it's so simple of a plot. So this is the part where Enid ends up trying to ask him out, which I think is hilarious.
Oh, that was deep. By the way, I totally dug the way you scratched out the bottom of our boat at Poke Up. It's pretty badass.
Thanks. You're not mad you lost?
I was just doing a solid for Xavier. I mean, he's my boy, but he's super competitive.
Seems so
So these guys were in like that Joker boat where they had like the face paint on. He was one of those guys.
laid back.
Bro's got a darker side most people don't see. I think it's because he's
And this is the part where they start planting the red herring of like, he's got a darker side. It's like, yeah, he's a fucking artist with psychic powers. That's about it. He's not a monster.
dad is, famous.
Famous, whatever. Yeah, okay, get to the good bit.
By you? It's just temporary.
Yeah, so this is where they establish that if a Gorgon freezes somebody in this world, it's only temporary.
You mean that?
It's actually a really good joke later.
So, I was thinking of...
The one hundo and the references to TikTok and all this other shit, throw it the fuck away. I don't want it in my Addams family. And I know it's Wednesday. I don't give a shit, okay? I don't need to hear none of this shit about Instagram and TikTok and all this other shit. Set it in a separate reality. Don't try to make it modern. It's not gonna age well. Hell, even the fucking, like... I mean, to this day, you have things like a truant officer. That's why the episode in the Addams Family, the first episode where the kids aren't at school, I think it's the first episode. It's one of the early episodes. I want to say it's the first one, where the kids don't end up going to school, and then the truant officer is sent to find out why they're not in school and whatever, and he gets driven crazy and he leaves and he goes to some other place. He ends up being like governor later or some shit, which is like, he's a fun recurring character in the original show. But that shit will age well because there will always be kids trying to skip school. There will not always be one hundo. There will not always be TikTok. Okay. It's cringe. It's fucking cringe. If they're just inserting it as like little references of like, hey, we're hip, we're with it. No, hello, fellow kids. No, you're not. Yeah, fuck off.
Sneaking behind the greenhouse tonight. You're supposed
Yeah.
to be a balloon.
So this is like where she's trying to drop all these hints for him, and he's not picking it up.
Cool. Hey, have fun. By the way, you know
Look,
that's where a lot
look
of
at her.
people stuff, right?
I love the way her fucking face twitches. Watch her face. I'm gonna slow it down. Like, I'm gonna go back to normal speed for a second. Watch her face.
Killer view from there.
Cool. Hey, have fun.
Watch her face. Watch her little lip twitch.
By the way,
Right here.
you know that's where a lot of
Yeah.
people go to hook up, right? I mean, he could get off.
Hey, Jax. I just spent all morning flirting and hinting and trying to act cute.
Fuck it. This is a good bit.
Me on a freaking date.
Oh, that's what you were doing. I kind of wondered when you spent so long brushing that opossum's tail.
Yeah. So that's like the thing. Is like she's just fed up. She's like, dude, you're not getting the signals. I want you to ask me to do the thing.
So, you want to meet up behind the green?
Yeah. Yeah. And so they're supposed to have a date. This is why I like Enid as a character. She's fun. She's got some stuff going on. Oh, like, I like Enid. I would actually watch a show just about Enid. Why this show could not just be about Enid, I have no idea. Why did you need to make it Wednesday Addams? Why did it need to be involving the Addams family at all? It's a fucking joke. But yeah, let's skip ahead here. Some shit. She goes to the actual ruins because the other ones are recreation. This is the actual ruins. She goes. Here we get our nice little fucking thing about like thing piece of shit out of this guy.
This is my place. Get out.
Thing a hand here.
Thing a hand here. First off, love that joke. Second, thing's just going for it, man. He's just got the man. Let's see. So, thing is like, hey, why don't you just start touching stuff? Yeah, so it's trying to activate one of her visions, and she's like, it doesn't work. It's like a, And it's like it's a random thing. That's what she's getting at. Let's see. So of course we have the typical, witch being picked on type thing, right? So very Salem witch trials. Here's this guy that's a dick for no reason.
It is you, Joseph Crackstone, that should be tried. We were here before you, living in harmony with the nature and the native folk.
Okay, so this is the part where they go really hard on the you are colonizers, you're disgusting, whatever. And it couldn't just be that, like, we never did anything to you guys. Why you gotta be a dick about it? And then because it is against God, you are practicing witchcraft. That would have been fine. But no, they go for the, like, we were living in peace and harmony, which is a complete fucking lie. Okay, don't let anybody ever tell you that, of like, oh yeah, all the Native Americans were super peaceful and living in harmony with their environment. Were they? Did they have an equilibrium with their ecosystem? Yes, they didn't overfarm, they didn't overfish, they didn't advance their technology too far, right? They were very much chill. However, they were not chill with each other. There were certain tribes, not all of them, certain tribes that were hated by other tribes because they were dicks, right? There were some tribes that were murderers and raiders, and as with any culture on Earth, you're going to have segments of it that are inherently extremists and enjoy conflict. It's just human nature. You're going to have that, no matter what group you put together. Unless you isolate it and brainwash the entirety of them to be nice, you're not going to get... You have to have one homogenous culture in order to get somewhere where you're not getting murders and rapes and all this other conflict and stuff. So, no, this idea of, like, oh, we were all living in peace and harmony with nature. Not exactly, Chief. Not exactly. Okay. Like, and then whatever, yada yada. So she like slashes at him and curses him, she like gives him a nice scar on his cheek with her little knife, whatever the fuck. So he burned all the witches and shapeshifters back in the day, those kind of people, the outcasts they call them. So she's chasing this. So here's more of the red herring. They keep every scene where the monster shows up, they put not Xavier. What's this guy? Yeah, this is Xavier. So they put Xavier in every scene with the monster. Like, anywhere the monster shows up, Xavier shows up. Really trying to get you to believe it's Xavier. Not in a million fucking years. It's not happening. So then she's pissed at him. So they're having this thing where she's, been volunteered to play with the band. She has things sabotage this by pouring gas in it, right? I don't understand. I've never been to one of these functions, but I'm pretty sure if I saw, if I was the mayor or whatever and I was checking over, doing a last minute check of things, pretty fucking sure I would notice, this weird line of black. Now, like this right here, this is the line. There's a line of black powder on the ground going to a fucking board that's for some reason laying up. And there's, board over here, board over there, board on either side, whatever, right? And it's revealed that Thing had actually poured gas into the fountain, because it's a fountain, and so the fountain was, circulating the gasoline through it, and so that's why it lit on fire. She melts it. I don't fucking get why. All it did was antagonize the townsfolk and make them hate it, and then it caused the dickhead kids from before to go out of their way to ruin the prom night in a later episode, just to fuck with the Nevermore kids. It's just conflict, perpetuating conflict. It's just a continuous cycle of violence for no reason. Like, Wednesday was being petty as fuck. Now, is it a Wednesday move? Yes. But it's a fucking statue. It's a statue, and you didn't even make a point of it. You didn't even make a point out of it. It was just a random act of violence. It wasn't even a fucking real thing. So there's some bad blood between her and Morticia for some fucking reason. I don't know. We never get that backstory because, she dies at some point, gets murdered by the real big bad. So there's the part where we see all these different people. They find this guy dead, killed by the monster. And this is the stupid part right here. Hold up. So this is where's the part where he gets killed by the fucking monster? Where's the, I don't know. Let's see. So there's a part, I don't know, it's back here somewhere. Oh, actually, I gotta show you guys this. This is a funny bit right here. So Gorgon Boy goes to shower. Oh my god, okay. So this guy goes to shower, and the Gorgon effect works even on themselves. Right, which is, how Medusa was famously defeated by the shine in the shield. She reflected back at herself and froze herself in stone. So what he does is he covers the mirror so that when he takes a shower and he gets out of the shower, he doesn't look at the mirror. Now, I would have just probably looked at the ground to make sure I didn't look at the mirror, but, you know, like, okay, he's trying to be safe. He's got the towel. He's supposed to be going on a date with Enid. So he's taking a shower before the date. But it's so funny because he goes in the shower. Oh, the towel slips, you know, like, that's not good. So when he goes to get out, oh, shit. I don't know why you would look directly at it. Like, you have lived with your whole life. You risked it. Now, I like the joke. It's kind of funny. She goes ape shit and, like, claws this up. I don't know why. But it's funny because he turns himself into stone. And then later he's like, oh, I didn't tell you I got turned to stone because fake teen drama shit. I mean, because I was embarrassed, right? This shit doesn't make any sense. Like, dude, you're a Gorgon. You know, saying, yeah, I accidentally mirrored myself with the stone. Like, accidentally stoned myself by looking in a mirror. Okay. She would understand that because she's a fucking werewolf. You're in a goddamn school for magical creatures. Like, come on, man. You're in a school of oddities. So then Wednesday breaks into the morgue. She wants to examine the homeless guy that died. Thing is photocopying some stuff. Let's see. So they go. This is the coroner, and this is the sheriff. Whatever. So this, I don't understand why they needed to do this. They could have just had it like there's like a noise. Fuck off. Yeah. So he hears a noise. He looks over, and he sees this. This is what I don't understand. Why didn't he just have it like he hears a noise, and he looks over, and it's closed, and he's like, and he leaves. You know, it would have gotten the same result. But for some reason, they do this to establish that she can basically make herself appear dead. I don't know why.
I don't remember this one coming in.
I don't remember this one coming in. You should probably check your files. Make sure there's not, like, an extra dead body in your morgue. No, he doesn't.
Full rigor. You've been dead a while, guess.
Full rigor. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, Chief. That's not what rigor looks like.
I don't remember this one coming in. Full rigor.
Like, oh yeah, full rigor, whatever. He just pokes her face a little. It's like, that's not how you tell rigor. You gotta move the thing. This is a good bit where Thing comes to get her out after he puts her away, he leaves. Thing comes in to rescue her, and he opens the thing, and she's just like, you know, five more minutes, Thing. I was just getting comfortable. So he just straight up puts her back in for 5 more minutes. That's the funny jokes. You get like one of those every 10 minutes now, right? It's pathetic. It's like, you don't really get, like, knee slappers. You don't really get good chuckles out of it like you did with the other media revolving around, you know, Addams Family. The other Addams Family media. And so this is his little hideaway where he does his art painting stuff. Enid wants to take her to get a dress for prom because she's going with Xavier. Yada, yada, don't care, teen drama shit. For some fucking reason, this I don't understand, Enid goes out with the guy that, like, she even says, like, yo, you tried to assault my, like you assaulted my roommate twice, right? Because she's roommates with Wednesday. Because this was the guy that was picking on her. And I'm thinking, damn, why do you go to the prom with him? Oh, to make the other guy jealous, because teen drama bullshit. Don't care. Bunch of bullshit. Okay, so they find the monster's lair, right? They figure out where that is based on one of Xavier's drawings. So, you know, they find some evidence. She gets some DNA things to test to take to the sheriff, giving him hard evidence so he can test it. Yada, yada. Here's Thing. Like, Thing types up this thing to, like, leave with the guy at the coffee shop. The guy who's the monster. And he kind of, he forces them together. He forces Wednesday and him to go together. Again, teen drama bullshit to get everybody in the same room, whatever. Don't care. Not really important. The dance is kind of awesome. Not gonna lie, it's kind of got a great vibe to it until they start mentioning why it looks that way, and then I'm just rolling my fucking eyes because it's modern sensibilities again. So he's here to pick her up for the date that she doesn't know she's going on. She's supposed to be staking out the cave with Eugene, but Thing set her up with the guy in the prom, whatever. Yeah.
Sweet. How could you do this to me?
Yeah. There's a really good joke in here about the dress that I absolutely love. Yeah, so he gets her the dress. How'd you pay for it? Just looks at her. 5-finger discount. The 5-finger discount. I love that. It's so funny. Like, that's an Addams Family joke. 5-finger discount. That's funny. So here's Eugene. He's gonna go off to the cave alone, even though she tells him not to. Eugene's a fucking retard. Again, he's a male, therefore he must be stupid, or an asshole, or a villain, or... You see the problem. Modern sensibilities start kicking in. I'm not joking. There's not one male in this series that's really that redeemable or great, other than like the Gorgon kid, just because he doesn't get that much screen time. But he also doesn't ever get to be a hero. He just kind of hangs around. He doesn't do much. So they're here with them. You know, these guys are exes, right? So they were together at one point. They're talking, yada yada yada. We're going back and forth, back and forth. It's this whole thing of the prom. And then Eugene's been camping it out, and then she's there, and she's talking to him, and pointless teen drama bullshit. So there's a really awesome sequence of her dancing. I'm muting that because that's definitely got to be copyright. So she's actually dancing like an Addams. You know, I felt like, oh, this is how Wednesday Adam would dance, right? She would dance all crazy like this, you know, because her mom gets down in the show and stuff. They dance pretty, you know, funky in the show. And it's like, yeah, okay, cool. It's very campy, kind of fun. That's exactly what I would expect from Wednesday. So these guys show up to be dicks. Turns out this guy was getting a date with Enid just to get an in at the party so that he'd be in position to, I guess, like, they got some fake pig's blood, and so they're doing, like, a carry where they pump it into the sprinklers. I guess. I don't know. So somebody shows up, they torch the cave to destroy the evidence, and then Eugene gets attacked by the monster, right? He doesn't die, he gets into a coma, so Eugene's fine by the end of the series. He's okay. Which is good, because I like Eugene as a concept. I hate him as a character, right? The idea of Eugene, he needs to stop being a little bitch, basically. He needs to be cooler, which I don't understand, because by the end of it, he's, like, showing what his power is, because he never really showed what his power was. Apparently, he can telepathically talk to the bees and make them do shit, which is fucking cool. Like, I don't understand how he hangs out by himself with the bees, because that's really cool. So then it starts raining blood. Of course, Wednesday fucking loves this. She doesn't give a shit. Everybody else is freaking out. This is the part that kills it for me. It's Nevermore Academy. There's a room full of vampires, werewolves, sirens, and other such phenomena, and other such creatures. This scene could have been so much better if they showed how they weren't afraid of things like this, right? If this was what they embraced and what they were like, you know? Everybody's like, oh my god, my suit's ruined, you know? And then, like, Xavier, whoever she's with, what's his name? Jason, Tim, Todd, something? I don't fucking remember his name. Tyler, that's what it is, Tyler. Jeez, what a fuckboy name. So, it would have been funny if you were standing there and, you know, Wednesday's looking at her shit, and, you know, Tyler's looking at her, and then Tyler just starts, you know, dancing, and then Wednesday starts dancing, and everybody else starts dancing, because they're like, yeah, you know, fuck it, don't let it ruin the night, you know, now it's a blood party, hell yeah, now it's a blood rave, and that would have been a good moment, but no, everybody just scatters, and they're falling all over themselves, because the floor is all slippery, and I'm just like, really, you can't even embrace the morbidity for a moment? It's pathetic, man, it's pathetic. So they get to this part where they start kissing. So it's actually kind of nice, because Enid and him and...
kind of stoned myself with my snakes.
Yeah, so he's telling her about that. You know, she gets the claws, and it's like, okay, let's chill with the claws. Yeah, we'll take this slow. Jumps to the kiss. It's funny. It's so funny. Again, that's why I would love a show about Enid and the Gorgon guy. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but the Gorgon kid is fucking awesome. Love that. Let's see, so we're in the woods. Eugene's getting wrecked by the monster. He's okay, though. He's just in a coma. Because for some reason the monster doesn't just go for the throat and kill him immediately. Don't ask me. Let's see. So then here's Gomez, and he got in trouble at school.
I don't like to tell Sheriff Walker, but it's all Morticia Frump's fault.
Yeah. So basically, this is a flashback. Right? So she's out in the rain, and there's a body. We look up, Gomez Adams with the sword, you know? Right? And so they're talking about how it's Morticia, and he's getting arrested. I love this part. This is some good Adams energy. Like...
Possibly a fish. I don't know what to say, Gomez. Seeing you in handcuffs, accused of murder. I've never loved you more.
Cara mia. Why the fuck do I get better vibes for Morticia and Gomez Adams out of this? Out of these young flashback versions of themselves? Why are the grown-up actual versions of themselves so shit by comparison? You give me an entire show about this? Fuck Wednesday. I don't need to see shit about Wednesday at Nevermore. I just want to see young Gomez and young Morticia at Nevermore courting their love and doing their thing and just having like a nice little episodic funny thing of them being in school together. That'd be so fucking... I would watch that. I don't know about y'all, but I watch that. This is actually a really nice match cut. I'll give him credit for this. A very nice match cut here, where it just cuts to him in the modern day and he's coming back to Nevermore. And here's where he's getting booked for a crime. So they suspect that he was killing him and yada yada. Let's see. So it's Parents' Day. Enid's parents are there, and Enid's mom is a total cunt, and her dad is, of course, say it with me, a pussified, emasculated man. Because every male in this modern era is fucking useless. Like, he doesn't even stand up for his daughter once. And I get that, like, we've had the bit before of, like, you know, your wife is always right and all this other shit, and, like, how, you know, like, but there are points when a man has to tell his wife, like, hey, enough, you know? I'm me, you're you, we have boundaries, we respect that, you don't fuck with our kid about that, you know, and all this other shit. So then Bianca's mom shows up. Turns out her mom is a siren who's in a cult, or she's like leading a cult, basically. She's like married to the cult leader, and she uses her siren powers to get people to pay into the cult. It's a big scam. Let's see. So there's this. This is what I'm talking about. Like, where's the delivery here? Okay, so they're talking about what if they go do family therapy. Oh, missed it. So
the process.
Yeah. So they're talking about let's go do some family therapy stuff, right? And
their time together has not yielded.
It's just kind of pathetic.
I'm not a lab rat.
Dr. Kimbert and I have spoken, and we both agree it would be most beneficial for...
Yeah, so since it's family weekend, they want them to go do a family session with the therapist.
all to attend a family session this weekend.
No.
I thought that might be your reaction, but I'm certain your parents can see the wisdom in it.
Right. So here's Morticia.
Not to side with Wednesday.
Not to side with Wednesday. Does that sound like something a loving parent, especially Morticia Addams, would say about her own daughter? Not to side with Wednesday? Like, dude, you're on your daughter's side all the time. That's the point of being a mom, number one. You are on your kid's side as long as they're not being, you know, like, illegal about it. And then, two, you gotta be in your kid's corner. That's the whole point of family. You gotta be in your family's corner all the time, even if you don't even necessarily agree. As long as what they're doing isn't criminal, you gotta, like, you know, understand them, right? She's like, we're only here for the weekend. She's making these excuses, and it's like, you know what? Wednesday, you could have just said Wednesday's right. We don't need this, you know? Because it kind of shows they're the same way. But okay.
We're only here for the weekend.
So this is where all of the performance for Gomez is ruined for me. Just watch this and we'll discuss.
Oh, come on. What can it hurt? I mean, to be honest, I've always been a big fan of head shrinking.
It's not that kind of head shrinking, mon chéri.
Well, that is disappointing.
So he's got a little bit of that, and that's just Luis Goodman being a very good actor and being able to portray it through like the way his face dips and his eye gaze and, you know, whatever. But it just doesn't have the power of Gomez. It really doesn't. Okay, so if we like back it up a little here, so she says, you know, like, let's go do family therapy. Wednesday says no. Morticia says no, and then he says, oh, come on. He's got like a little question mark on there, right? It's not like a, you know, oh, come on, what could it hurt? You know, it's not a whole thing for a question. It's just like that. It's like, you know, she's not like interrupting either, you know? That's the part that kills me. He's not interrupting into her of like, you know, oh, come on, what would it hurt, you know? Like, no.
That is disappointing.
So then you know, he's like, I've always been a big fan of head shrinking. So another thing I wanted to point out is in all these scenes with Gomez, this is what pisses me off. What is this? Zoom in. Enhance. What does Morticia Addams have in her... Oh, sorry. Thing has in his hand. I got confused there. I thought it was Morticia's hand. No, Morticia's hand's over here. See, it's funny, because Thing just pops up. What does Thing have in his hand? He's holding Gomez's cigar. Gomez, in every iteration, has a cigar, man. That's his shtick. That's his spiel. He's always chomping on a cigar, right? That's why I had that picture of him golfing, because he's chomping on a cigar. Always. Constant. Fucker smokes all the time, right? In none of these sequences I've shown you of Gomez is there a cigar. Not once does he pull one out. He doesn't even have one, like, in his top pocket, you know? I can understand not smoking in the school, but, like, come on, not smoking in his own car? Like, This is the shit that makes no sense. This is what tells me they don't know shit about the Addams family. That's a main motif for him, is the smoking of the cigar, talking through the cigar, taking the cigar out to say something, putting it back in, and going back to what he's doing. And that's back and forth. It's a cadence with him. John Astin had that done beautifully. But, like, you don't have that. You know, you don't have... Like, you could have had that in the scene. No, it's just nothing. It's like... There's just no energy. There's no energy to Gomez. He's completely played wrong. He doesn't even have the scar. It's pathetic. So then we go to the therapy angle, right? They're having a thing, you know, whatever. I found this funny, that Pugsley was eating her bowl of potpourri. And he's just like, you know, oh, thanks for the snacks. And she's like, that's the potpourri. You keep it. It's like, okay. So he's like, he takes it with him. He's trying to offer his dad some. That's a Pugsley thing to do. So there's nuggets of humor and nuggets of Addams family in here somewhere, but you have to look at stuff. So the coroner shot himself, supposedly. I don't fucking know why. But it's, you know, it's supposedly that he shot himself, but it's actually just framing Gomez again as like, he left a suicide note that tells all the secrets or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking know. So they're at the dinner. This I love. This is funny as hell to me. Like, here's Gomez, and he's just got this plate of tacos. What the fuck is up with my cursor? I don't know why it was spinning like that. So he's just got this just stacked plate of stuffed taco, filet, whatever the fuck. It's like, it's just funny to me. Big man plate of food. It's a funny dynamic. And then here's Morticia, thin with little food. You know, it's a nice contrast. That's funny. That's how you do it. Let's see. So, you know, we got people digging in, doing whatever. And so here's the part with Enid. So she's hanging out with her folks.
Ajax and I haven't defined our relationship.
So she thinks she's asking about him and Ajax. Ajax being the Gorgon guy, right?
Boys, have you wolfed out yet?
Because that's what her mother's worried about. Look at how she looks to her father, expecting him to say something, to do something. And he just stares. He doesn't interrupt like honey, you know, maybe not at the dinner table. No. He says fucking nothing this entire weekend. I'm not even kidding. He says not one word. It's like they were paying him by the syllable. Okay, so then Gomez gets arrested for it, yada yada. We get the backstory. So they were in love, doing whatever. They were in love. There was some stalker guy who ended up trying to kill him. He's fighting him. So this was the guy that his body came flying down. So I reacted. It's not that I killed you because I'm defending myself. It's I reacted. That's not what Gomez Addams would do. Gomez Addams would have filleted him with a smile on his face. You look at Raul Julia, dude. Look at this bit from Raul Julia, right? Let's see here. Let's see. If I just type Gomez sword fight, it should come up. Oh, no, okay, it's Princess Bride sword fight. I don't know why that's popping up. But here's, like, the bit from Addams Family Values, or not Addams Family Values, the first Addams Family, and then you have the sequel Addams Family Values. But in this one, he's fighting Tully, you know, because they're just, this one they're playing around in, but later, no, this is just a playing around scene. I want the rescue scene. So this is the one where later it's revealed that, you know, Uncle Fester's a lie, and yada yada, and Tully's in on it. This part is fucking funny. I laugh so hard every time I watch this movie. This part with Thing is so good. We're played through Thursday, and then Morticia.
Morticia what? Slow down! It's terrible when you stutter!
It's terrible when you stutter. So this is a problem with Thing that I found in the show for Wednesday. He does this thing where, like, he'll stand like this, and then he'll rest back on his thing and then start doing sign language. You can't understand shit. This is why this is important, because one, you can cut a hole in the table and have the actual hand there, which is good. Thing in Wednesday's world is more like a CG double of a hand, which is not bad. It's a really nice photo scan of a hand. But most of the time, yeah, it's just a fucking, yeah. But this is why you need him to sit up. So if you do it this way, right, if hand is sitting this way, he goes like this, and then he just, you know, he's trying to say stuff right here, right? But here, if he's sitting up like this, he can articulate those actual sign language poses. This I love, because he's not getting the point across. He's trying to tell him, and he tries to write the pen. It's not working either, right? And I'm going to cut that off there. So, He knocks over the bowl of cereal. He grabs the spoon. He's now tapping it out in Morse code. That shit is hilarious. I love that scene with the hand every time. Or with Thing, with the hand just bopping around. So where's the part where he's fighting Tully here? So he comes to rescue her. He jumps through this window like a beast. This is Gomez Adams. He's a hero. He's a brave man, you know, whatever. And I realized he was a kid at that point, but come on, man. Like, you can't ruin the legend of Gomez Adams with this. Look at him. He is just happy to tear Tully apart with this, you know. He's got him on his knees. He is about to cut this man through and through. Double slice. Head is gone. And then we go to this. I mean, not only he got his ass handed to him, Gomez Adams getting his ass kicked is the just single most disrespectful thing that could have happened to this character. So we skip forward. There was like some reveal at some point where she talks to her mom. So here's Enid. They're trying to get her. Well, I say they. No, her mom. Her dad ain't doing shit. Her mom is trying to get her to go to. She's saying, like, you know, hey, after the semester, we want you to go to summer camp. Here's some brochures. And it's all this lichen conversion stuff. And I thought it was kind of funny. But at the same time, it's like, really? Like, this is the level you take it to? Is you need your kid to be just like you, even though you're an outcast, you're a werewolf. So the normal world shuns you, and now you're basically shunning your daughter at the same time, unless she's gonna be just like you. That's kind of fucked, right? Like, the writing doesn't make any sense there. Why would an outcast person care what their child turned out to be? They of all people should understand the difference in that, in that it's okay to be different. But no, this part's pretty good. They go fishing with grenades. They're having a little, you know, back and forth. But again, she reiterates that, oh, he's weak and he won't last a month. Yeah, whatever the fuck. Morticia, they're having a little talk. This is the part that solidified the, oh, this is feminist propaganda argument. And again, I don't have a problem with strong females. I have a problem with strong females only being strong in comparison to the weak men around them. So that little tale of, like, Gomez defended himself, right? And, okay, he got his ass beat, but he still defended himself. Okay, cool. Nope. Turns out the truth is that it was Morticia. Gomez was getting his ass beat and was about to die. So Morticia has to save him.
I'll never forget the way he looked at me. A rabid beast.
Yeah. So she instinctually picks up the sword and stabs him, right? And then Gomez, being the, you know, the lover that he is, takes the blame for it. He's like, here, you know, you were never here, you know, here, take the sword, go put it back, I'll take the blame. And so he stands on the ledge with the sword, so they see this, and then he's like, you must go, Muddy. Yeah, cara mia. And it just completely fucking ruins the characters. It absolutely does. Because that just makes it Morticia as a fighter, which I don't understand how Morticia is a fighter, and then they cut to this scene where they're digging up the body of the guy to see if he was poisoned or whatever. They're grave robbing, which is just hilarious. But she's just like, hey, Mom, you could come down here and help, is basically the gist of it. And she basically is saying, like, oh, I don't want to chip a nail. She's, like, looking at her nails. And she's like, no, I wouldn't want to ruin your fun. And she's looking at her nails. I'm like, I know Morticia is all about her beauty, but god damn, there is no way in hell you went from stab a man to save my love to I don't want to chip a nail digging a grave. You're a fucking Adams. Like, bruh. My brother in Christ. This shit I fucking despise. Where she's like, oh, you two are too weak for prison. You know, you won't last a month. And I'm just like, you telling this to your parents? Jesus Christ. It's the Wednesday show, so Wednesday always has to be right and smarter than everyone around her. Even if that means that everyone around her is a fucking moron. So this guy was in on it. And then they go through this thing of, like, we're going to go blackmail you into, like, you know, letting Gomez out of prison because we know you fabricated the whole thing to begin with. And it's like, what the fuck? So this is the part where, again, the feminist propaganda gets reinforced.
I'm not going. Not this summer?
Okay.
So, it's decided. 6 weeks at camp.
So the mom is trying to push it on her. Notice another thing here, the wardrobe choices. He is the mom, that's the dad. Right? Female, male. The male, he's wearing a turtleneck, and under that's a polo, and over that's like this little jacket. He's a very average, normal-looking dude. She's over here with flannel. Traditionally, where do we see flannel? On lumberjacks. Strong, manly man, right? This is all coded, by the way. This is intentionally designed this way to make you... It's a subconscious trigger. The flannel to be manly. She's literally wearing pelts. I mean, she's wearing like a fucking vestment made of like pelts. Like, hello, Conan the Barbarian much. Like, the only thing she would need is his beard moved onto her to be like, I am the man in this relationship. Which again, I don't mind it. It's just that this guy does nothing. He has no lines. To the point where Enid herself, I'm glad Enid stood up for herself. I really am. But at no point did it, like, this could have been Enid attempts to stand up for herself. And she says, no, Mom, I'm going. And it's like, you know, we'll see what your father has to say about this. You know, Mark. And she looks at him. And then Mark's like, you know what? I think that she should go. What? Yeah, see? There. When she's ready. What? Like, and go through that. And, like, he's standing with her, not for her, with her, to back her against her mom, who's a fucking bitch. This is his one line.
I'm proud of you, kiddo.
I'm proud of you, kiddo. That's it. I'm proud of you because you asserted yourself as a person, and I respect you as a person, and I don't see you as just a second-class citizen because you have lady bits. That's what they're trying to say with that line. It's fucking obnoxious, dude. It's like, I'm proud of you, and I'm glad he's proud of his daughter. I really am. Maybe he should have opened his fucking mouth and been a father at some point, and backed her and be like, nah, Carol, you're a bitch. Like, she doesn't have to go if she doesn't want to. But no, it's just bad writing, all of it. So here's Wednesday getting told off by the principal again. Swear to God, we're getting through this. We got 6, 7, and 8. Let's get done with this shit. Time to be out of here. So she gets told, hey, if you want answers to your shit, you know, come to the crypt. But it's a surprise party. You know, they have a cake and everything. Thing with a party hat is the best thing in this entire series. I fucking love him with the party hat. Let's see. So they're doing this. She gets another vision. Right? She sees this house with lights and stuff. Talking to the mayor. The mayor's talking to her. This guy's here. Somebody burned this fire will rain thing on the lawn. They, like, burned it in with, like, fire. Like, the lawn's on fire. So Bianca's talking to this guy. Not really important. So this is like a flashback of one of Wednesday's birthday parties from when she was a kid. She always had great birthday parties. And this one, she was breaking open a spider piñata, and all the kids are chanting, candy, 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 candy. And she finally breaks it open, and all these spiders pour out, and it's fucking hilarious. That is Addams Family. That's what I watch it for. Those kind of jokes. Not all this murder mystery teen drama bullshit. Don't need it. Get it out of here. It's a detriment. Okay. So then here's her, yada, yada, yada. So she's hanging out in the hospital because Eugene's his two lesbian moms, because of course we had to check that box at some point, right? Somebody needed the lesbian moms. What is it? It's Eugene's lesbian moms. Like, there you go. That's checked off. And again, I don't care. It's just that, fuck me, they showed up for 2 seconds. They didn't do anything in the show. They were just there. Fucking ridiculous. So they're talking. They're like, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry, yada, yada. They're going back and forth. Do you know about this thing? Do you know about that thing? And back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Talking to Xavier. He's got a picture of the same gate, so he's been dreaming about that. And so together they work out that it's the Gates property, right? So the Gates is, like, the Gates are the people who got murdered, like the one, like Gomez stabbing the guy, or Morticia stabbing the guy, whatever the fuck. The guy that got stabbed, right? The guy that got stabbed that was trying to poison the school, that guy. He's a normie guy. They call him normies. He's a human. So he's a human, and he was the son of this. So there was a mom, a dad, a son, and a daughter, right? And so the mom, we hear, like, fucking nothing about. I'm not really sure what happened to the mom. They kind of glance over what happened to the family after the kid died. Because after the son dies, then the dad and the mom, I think they killed themselves or some shit. Then Laurel, the daughter, who is the dorm mom now, she assumed a new identity. She goes overseas, fakes her own death, comes back, and starts plotting her revenge, right? So this guy's at the house. This is the part that pisses me off about the sheriff. This is when the sheriff turned into a total fucking moron for no reason. So he's at the house. He gets a call from this fucking guy telling him, hey, I'm at the Gates place. Or, you know, I won't tell you over the thing, but I think I found a break in the case, whatever. Wednesday hitches a ride in the back of his car, right? She's spying on him because he goes to the diner to talk to the sheriff. And then Wednesday tells him, she's giving him a statement. It's like, look, I was tailing him. I was investigating the house. He happened to be there. I tailed him to here because I wanted to see what you guys were talking about. Basically, that's why I was in his trunk, right? He tells him that, hey, there's some shit going on over here. You should go investigate it. He doesn't investigate it. And this is a house that has been confirmed in another episode that some woman is called in like 3 or 4 different times to the police department to be like, hey, this abandoned property, the old Gates residence, this abandoned property isn't really abandoned. There's some lights over there. What the fuck's going on with the lights over there? And she's done this like 3 or 4 times at this point. And then Wednesday then tells him, hey, some shit's going on over here. You should probably go investigate that. Doesn't do it. Why? Incompetent male, and Wednesday needs an excuse to go off on her own, and having, the cops discover the evidence would just ruin the mystery, wouldn't it? So here's What's-Her-Face. She gives her, the dorm mom gives Wednesday a copy of Frankenstein. I know, exceedingly on the nose. We could not be any more like she is the bad guy, because she is the one that has had the most interactions with Wednesday, right? In a positive light. She's been fucking with Wednesday's mental state every time. She's talking to Wednesday constantly, directing her towards certain things. All a ploy to get her to a blood sacrifice in the ending, which is so stupid. Let's see. Here's Enid. Enid is, I don't know, what the fuck. She got her, like, this little scarf thing. So they're going out to this fucking thing. Details are not important. Thing is at the house alone. He's typing some shit. Let's see. So they go to the house. They're investigating things. So here's the family portrait. The family is talking about. There's the dad, right? So there's a secret altar behind the bookshelf. There's an altar to their ancient relative, Joseph, whatever the fuck, or Joseph Craftstone, right? That's the big bad guy that gets resurrected, right? That was the pilgrim guy lighting people on fire in the past. Let's see. This is LG Laurel Gate, right? Or Laurel Gates, whatever the fuck her name is. So then there's this. She ties it off with the thing, which I don't understand. Like, she ties off the door as if this thing wouldn't just claw its way in and kill him, It buys some time. The thing breaks. They fall out. They're looking around. She puts 2 and 2 together, and she's like, oh, wait, there's body parts in here. This is where the body parts are ending up. And then, he clawed himself, to distract him, but it's like, yeah, it's him. You knew it was him for a while, obviously. With too many other red herrings. There's a point where you put up so many red herrings and so many misdirections that it's like, all right, so who here is the least obvious? And yet also the most obvious. I don't know. All right, so we're going. Enid wants to move out because Wednesday's a shitty friend, and that Enid is trying to be Wednesday's friend. She's trying to help her. And is like, yo, bro, what the fuck? I'm trying to be your friend. And it's like, I didn't ask you to be my friend. And she's like, yeah, that's what friends do. They try to help you even if you don't fucking ask them to. The most annoying part, let's take it back here for a second. The most fucking annoying part is this shit right here, where Wednesday just completely ignores what her friends are saying. Like, she completely disregards what they say.
You should have just said so.
Like, she says, like, oh, I didn't want to party and stuff.
This place is creepy AF.
I know.
Okay, this isn't what I signed on for.
Ditto. I didn't want to celebrate my birthday by going to dinner or a surprise party. I want to do this.
You should have just said so. You didn't have to trick us.
If you want to go, you can.
Then you should have just said something, Then there's no apology. There's no, you know what? My bad. Next time I'll be honest with you guys. No, none of that. She just completely doesn't care. Egotistical, narcissistic cunt. Like, and Wednesday's character is that, like, she's all morbid and shit because she thinks it's cool. Like, that's the thing. But that doesn't mean she's got to be a dick about it. Like, lying to her friends to get what she wants and shit. Like, come the fuck on. Is this really Wednesday Addams? No, not particularly. She finds that somebody's been spying on her, yada yada. Somebody goes and kills the mayor while he's in a coma from getting hit by the car. So the mayor dies. Let's see. Skip to Uncle Fester shows up.
Monsters, murder, mayhem. What fun!
So he's kind of in between.
I told him I had a job in Boston, but I'd be checking up on you.
What kind of job?
The kind that means I need somewhere to lay low for a couple days.
Yeah, so he's like, kind of like the job in Boston he's referring to. I think he's like he robbed a bank or some shit just because fuck it, that's something he would do, So the one thing I don't like about him is this fucking insistence on his electric powers. I absolutely despise that. Because in the show, it was always this parlor trick he could do where he was like, he had extra energy built up in his body, right? And he was like a living conductor. And he would take like a light bulb and put it in his mouth and it would light up because he's like got all this electricity going in him. And that's okay for a one-off bit, but holy shit, they literally, not only do they use as a plot point, they reinforce it hard in the beginning. They're like, he's doing electricity out of his hands and shit. I'm like, they just turn him into fucking Static Shock. It's so weird. Let's see. Like this shit. What is this? What was that? Why is he doing that? That's never been established that it's established that he's full of electricity, yes. It's never been established that Uncle Fester can just actively cast that out, to my knowledge. Like, the most he does with it is the light bulb trick. That's about the bit of it. It's just a joke. And he's hiding in the plushies. I actually found this kind of funny. He's, like, hiding in the pile of plushies. Like, all the stuffed animals.
Uncle Fester?
The muffled giggle is so funny.
Being a solo Lobo has its perks.
Look at him. Okay. So he's hanging out. They go tracking this guy. They find out that he's had secret therapy sessions with the therapist chick, who's, again, it's like, oh, it's the therapist chick. It's the therapist chick. Must be. It's red herring. Red herring everywhere. There's so much red herring in this town, they could have a fucking all-you-can-eat buffet of red herring. It's ridiculous. So this was like a nail polish bottle that Enid came back for looking earlier, and Wednesday's, like, seemingly regretting that. This is kind of a fun thing, where he's put together the thing. He's still a dick. He's doing all this to manipulate her, by the way. So, he's put together this whole date. It's kind of cute. There's a fucking bit where he's like, do you like horror movies? And so you're thinking, oh, they're going to watch, Friday the 13th or something. They're going to watch something crazy. Nope. It's so fucked. Wait for it. Legally Blonde. He makes her watch Legally Blonde. And she's just like, and afterwards she's like, wow, that was torture. Thank you, And because that's fun to her, is being tortured with shit like that. So this is the second time he has caught them together. So this is like a picnic thing. And then earlier he caught him in the shop, like sitting next to each other. After he had expressly forbidden his son from like talking to Wednesday Adam at all or associating with her in any way. This is the second time. He catches his son in a crypt in the middle of the night having a date with Wednesday Addams, who he has forbid him from seeing, right? Never brought up again. Never. It's like they forgot the plot point of, hey, he's supposed to not be seeing Wednesday, and that's supposed to be a point of contention between them. No. Doesn't care. Just give a fuck. Blows it off. Like, whatever. Fuck it. Like, completely useless. So then Thing almost dies. He gets stabbed. Here's the plot point where they use his electricity to fucking resurrect, to revive fucking Thing. And of course he's fine, right? Because of course Thing's not going to die. You can't kill Thing, right? That would just be fucked for the entire show. You cannot kill Thing. You can kill the therapist, though. Therapist lady dies. The hide kills her, which, immediately goes, wait, it wasn't her? Like, you're supposed to think that it was like, wait, it wasn't her? That's supposed to be some shocking twist. No. So she thinks that he's the hide because she's a fucking idiot. Even though she claims to be so smart, and yet she just falling for the obvious signs. Like, come on, man. Really? It's clearly a frame job. So she kisses him, and then she gets a vision. And it turns out, oh, he's the hide, and that's how she learns he's the hide. She doesn't learn that he's the hide through some type of detective work and putting together the pieces and really going Sherlock Holmes with it. Even though that's what the show's supposed to be about, it's a mystery. No. She has magical bullshit supernatural powers that tell her exactly what she needs to know when she needs to know it for plot convenience. It is fucking stupid. Alright, so he's here. She confronts him, but she brought the sirens with her, so, she brought sirens with her, so the sirens, like, tell him, hey, you're gonna come with us, shut the fuck up, and they chain him up, whatever. She's gonna torture him until the monster comes out so she can prove it, and then the cops show up and, arrest her and whatever, and then the charges get dropped, yada yada, etc., etc., I don't know, shit's going on. He's still in jail because they think he's the monster, whatever the fuck. Let's see, where are we at? There's Enid. Enid's kind of back in the dorm? What's happening? No, this is when Enid is they're back. I don't fucking know what Ian's status is right now, but Wednesday's getting expelled, basically. Like, she's not allowed at school anymore on account of, torturing another student. Let's see. So there's Eugene,
Someone set fire to that cave.
Yes, Dr. Kinbot.
Yeah. But this is the part, and here's just like, oh yeah, it was Dr. Kinbot. It's like, no, I don't remember much, but I remember, somebody lit it on fire, and they were wearing boots, right? And that's when it clicks for Wednesday that, oh, it's the dorm mom with the rubber boots, right? Has to be told this randomly from some guy that was in a coma, which is why the monster should have just killed him, went straight for the throat, but convenient that, there's a lot of convenient non-deaths here, one that especially ruins the ending of it, and it annoys the shit out of me. So here they're playing a trick on her. They've got the shape-shifting principle.
If you only hate outcasts,
Underestimated the situation.
So the shape-shifting principle is impersonating him because, they're supposed to be in league together, but they're not. Haha. Plot twist. It's not bad. Not a bad plan. She gets the jump on her, though, injects her with poison and kills the principal. So the principal's dead now. So they're making out. They're having a good time. And then Eugene calls, and they're talking about where's Wednesday, and yada yada. At this part, what the fuck kind of mom do you have?
Calm down, Eugene. That Gorgon is a moron. It could be dangerous.
If Enid's right and Wednesday's been taken, we need to call the sheriff.
Mom, I've got to go. Wednesday's my only friend, and if she's in trouble, I've got to help her. It's Hive Code.
It's Hive Code. Yeah. Mom, I have to go into this exceedingly dangerous situation. And she just lets him fucking go. She just lets him go. Doesn't give him any help. Doesn't say, I'll drive you. No, just go. Go ahead. Goodbye. Just off into the woods in the middle of the night to fight monsters and shit. What the fuck? Like, this writing is so convenient. It's ridiculous. Like, it all gets wrapped up in the worst way possible. So here she is. Turns out the guy got cursed. Yada yada. And so she needed Wednesday's blood to do the little ritual to bring him back, and all these body parts to bring him back, which is kind of a cool, like, Frankenstein type setup, the lightning strikes and all that. So there's a Gorgon, they're all figuring out what to do. Wednesday has been stabbed, so this is the part that annoys the shit out of me. Here's Wednesday.
I have summoned you to rid the world of outcasts.
Yeah.
as will mine.
So she has lockpick now. Now remember this. Remember this specifically, that he has full control of telekinetic powers because of this staff. Remember this, it's important.
You haunt me still. You will suffer the same fate you bequeathed me.
He not only stabs her, he stabs her right here. So that's hitting like a kidney, some small intestines and shit.
Now burn in the eternal fires of hell.
Twists the knife.
Where you belong.
Wait for it. Hold on. Hold on. Fucking walks out the door. Doesn't make sure that this person who he thinks that's Goody items, because she looks like her ancestor Goody, stabs her, leaves her to bleed out. What is it with all these things where writers just let the hero live? Can you not be smarter? Can you not write something smarter of, like, Wednesday gets away into the forest or some shit? Or come up with a different scenario, alright? This idea of, like, oh, let's stab him and then just wait for him to bleed out. No. Slit the fucking throat. Go for the kill shot. Oh. Like, that's what makes the villain just fucking stupid. And she would have died. Like, to be fair, she would have died if not for magical bullshit ghost powers. So here's her ancestor that comes to her in a vision. And she's like, I can heal you through magical ghost bullshit. Now, it's not like I'm going to possess your body and that's what's going to heal you, right? For the time being. No, it is, I will heal you through magical ghost bullshit and you'll be fine. And that's it. That's it. All of her wounds heal. She's fine. Cool. Alright, sure. This is the shit I'm talking about. The writing is so weak. So here he turns into a monster, but then Enid shows up to fight him. Enid actually looks kind of cool. It's like she's got, like, still the colored hair, you know? Kind of funny. So he shows up at the school. He's gonna burn it all down. It's the prophecy, yada, yada, yada. So they're fighting. Enid transforms back, after, whatever. Like the blood moon fades and is replaced by a regular moon, and so her powers kind of fade because she can't control it yet. So here's the interesting part. He then gets in basically a fucking fist fight with her. Now we saw earlier he could just stop her with the staff, right? Nah, he decides to waste screen time with this. Because he has to waste time so that he can then be stabbed in the back when her allies come back. Literally just so contrived. Why we have this, I have no idea. Watch. Like, to this point. He swings, it breaks her sword. He then goes into, I'm gonna hold you down with magic and, like, start killing you with it. If he did that from the start, he would have had time to kill her and then turn back around and see the person who's about to stab him in the back, which distracts him. And then he turns back around and Wednesday saves the day because she stabs him in the heart. Okay, cool. Whatever. And then she comes in. The one thing Eugene does in this entire series of any merit. He comes in with the bees. I don't get what the fuck this is. There's such a thing out of left field of like, how do we stop a person with a gun in this magical school? You know, he couldn't just have her like try and slip away and then be an ongoing antagonist for the series later. No. Bees get her. Not the bees. So the bees come in, they take her out. Eugene kind of helps with the bees. That's kind of fun. So here's Enid, and this is the part that fucking aggravates the piss out of me. So Ajax is here. That's Wednesday. Where's Ajax? Ajax is like right here. He's out here in the woods with Enid and shit. He evacuated the school and like led people to safety. Great. Heroic effort. Here's an idea. Maybe you should use your magical Gorgon powers to freeze somebody. Because it's temporary, so you could just look at you could just look at Wednesday and that guy at the same time. They might both freeze, but fuck it, they both freeze. Okay. I don't understand. He's OP as fuck, so they just took him out of the equation. They said he's somewhere else right now. It's fine. Like, they just forget what they put into the story. It's so fucking stupid. Alright, so then here she goes with the end, and she types a little question mark on it. Like, the end? Question mark? Maybe the end of her novel, you know, that she'd been writing. Okay. So we don't know who the new headmaster's going to be. This is like the end of the semester. Everybody's going home for like, I think like a vacation. This is like after October and shit. So I assume it's like Christmas vacation they're probably going home for. So, you know, they're like, he gets her a phone so they can text. That's kind of sweet. I give him credit for that. Like, you know, he wants to maintain a long distance relationship with her, and, you know, he gives her a phone so they can text and all that. And she's been notoriously against technology. That's why she types on a typewriter. And so she accepts it. You know, okay, cool. So there's some potential here. And there's some guy stalking her, sending her weird texts, you know. Which I would love to know how somebody got her phone already. Like, somebody would have to know her phone. I guess if she set it up with her actual name, they could, like, hack into her phone or, like, hack into the database that her phone operates on and find her name and then go from there. I don't know. It would be weird for, like, it's so unique. I feel like she would be the only Wednesday Addams in the whole fucking world with, like, an iPhone, you know? I don't know. But here's Lurch, you know? Lurch's eyes are looking normal again, but for some reason this one still looks kind of like a glass eye. It's got a little bit of weirdness around the pupil. I don't know. So this guy, he's supposed to be sedated. Of course he's not. He starts turning back into a big monster. You know, starts killing shit. And that's it. That's all of Wednesday, guys. That's it. That's the whole thing, man. The whole thing. The show pissed me off. The thing is, it's the problem I have with the show is there is so much potential here. And there was clear care given to things like the costumes and the staging and some of the side characters. Why the fuck is the show so boring? So I posted something when I finished this. I posted in one of these chats here. So this is what I said. And that's a wrap on Wednesday. Offensively boring, predictable plot, slightly man-hating with a splash of mischaracterization of established personalities. I expected nothing and somehow was still disappointed. The Thing was a treat, as he always is, but wow, the rest of it just blows. That about sums it up. I mean, it's boring. We went over the whole thing. I mean, you guys can watch it yourself and look at all those things I kind of skipped over, all those conversations. Trust me, don't even bother watching it at normal speed. Watch it at 1.5 times speed. Watch it at the max speed Netflix will allow. And just go through it. Just go through it when you have the time. And you will see you're missing nothing in these conversations. They're pointless. There's so much pointless teen drama and murder mystery bullshit in between what's supposed to be the jokes. And trust me when I say, the jokes are here in episode 1. After episode 1, the second you get to episode 2, the amount of jokes goes down by like 80%. And it stays down. And you maybe start getting 2 or 3 okay, not even good, okay average jokes in some of these later episodes. It's like, because they want to focus on that murder mystery thing. I'm like, that was never Addams Family's, or the Addams Family's bag, right? They're comedy. It's a morbid comedy, right? That's the whole shtick. That's the whole point. So this whole murder mystery building a narrative out of it just doesn't work. It's boring and it's stupid. And it's just full of contrived writing, and the writers are clearly fucking idiots. Like, who wrote this shit? The fact that it's considered TV mysteries, crime TV shows, fantasy TV shows, and this was made by Netflix. So this is a production by Netflix, for Netflix, rated by Netflix as being all of this, right? In these genres. I don't need any of these genres, right? Fantasy, I don't know how it's considered fantasy. This is not fantasy. This is some other fucking thing, but it's not really fantasy as the fantasy genre is defined. But I mean, let's look at who wrote it, okay? Who wrote this shit, right? So, it seems to be these three guys, Charles Adams. Hold on, no. I think that's supposed to be a character, maybe. I don't know. Wednesday TV series, here we go. So we'll look at the Wikipedia, maybe it'll tell us who's, like, there's casting, characters, premise, production. Who fucking wrote this shit? So during pre-production in the 1991 film, Tim Burton was assigned to direct, but ended up passing on it due to scheduling. So they originally wanted Burton for directing the Addams Family. So it's like, okay, it makes sense. Bring him back for Wednesday. All right, makes sense. So in October, Wednesday was initially announced as an unnamed Addams Family project, series production, blah, blah, blah. Burton, Alfred Goff, right? So Alfred Goff is correct. Miles Millar would serve as showrunners, so they are fully in control of this. So these guys are definitely to blame. While Goff, Miller, and Burton would also be executive producers alongside Berman, Glickman, Mittman, a lot of mins in that. Producers. Who the fuck wrote this thing? All right, you know what? I'm just gonna go with these two because we can confirm that these two wrote it. I just want to see the credentials because I have a sneaking suspicion that their credentials do not include anything of particular value. So let's see. The biggest thing here that this guy did. I mean, Alfred Goff wrote Spider-Man 2, or he wrote for Spider-Man 2, let's say, because I know Remy had a lot of pull on stuff like that. The motherfucker wrote for Smallville. Like, how did you write this? What happened? Like, this is what I don't understand. So this guy wrote for, let's see, Bugs, Double Tap. Why do I know Double Tap? I feel like I've heard this. Drug Lord, Undercover FBI. Oh, yeah, Double Tap. Yeah, okay, I know that movie. Yeah. Let's see. Haven't seen it in a while, though, so I can't comment on it. But Shanghai Noon. So he wrote Shanghai Noon. Great, cool. I like Shanghai Noon. Shanghai Nights, characters written by, right? The characters are written by. Yeah. So, let's see. So, Shanghai Nights, the strip, I don't know what the strip is. Again, some of these, like the way I gauge it, right? A lot of people, you know, and you can say, like, oh, just because you haven't heard of somebody doesn't mean they're not famous. Like, okay, I can understand that, right? I don't know every popular, like, director from Japan, let's say, but I'm sure there's some really, really good ones. But generally, the rule of thumb is that if you can't identify a ton of stuff in somebody's filmography that's really, really great, then it's not really, you know, pulling it here. It's not doing it for me, you know? I should be able to immediately go, oh, this is the guy that wrote this and this and this, or directed this and that and that. Like, they have experience. I mean, Shanghai Noon. I know Shanghai Noon. I like Shanghai Noon. It's funny. Okay, cool. Awesome. Spider-Man 2. Screen story. Meaning that he wrote the screenplay, basically. Like, he basically got translated into screen speak, but that's about all he did. He didn't really write it, right? So that's why you gotta look at specifics. Shanghai Nights, he did characters. He probably mostly did characters and maybe wrote one or two jokes, and that's why it says written by. I don't know. But that just seems to be the thing. He wrote Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, which is considered to be the worst of the Mummy films because it's too much action, right? And it, you know, okay, it kind of loses itself. We see the problem here. Charlie's Angels, a TV series, Charlie's Angels from 2011. What the fuck? Yeah, okay. So a failed Charlie's Angels TV series. I mean, you're at 9 episodes. This is Smallville. Hold on. This is Smallville. So, let's see. So, Smallville, it says he wrote a whole bunch. Here's the problem. It says he wrote a whole bunch, right? But if you look at Smallville, trying to see Smallville specifically, but if you look at Smallville, a lot of the stuff in Smallville here is like, an unaired pilot from 2017. Okay. And between that and the finale for 2011, creator. He doesn't have any written credits. He just has creator credits. So he's basically like, probably he wrote like a couple of the first episodes, which I'll tell you, they're not that strong. They're good, but they're not super great for Smallville. Even though Smallville overall is great, the first couple episodes it needed to find its footing. A lot of shows go through that. But I mean, Smallville, like, all right. Shannara Chronicles. Okay, I don't know anybody who talks about the Shannara Chronicles. This thing was flash in the pan as hard as you can get. This is, I think this is another adaptation, right? Like, I think Shannara Chronicles is actually based on a book. So, he's already failing at adaptations, right? We've already seen him fail at adaptations. Into the Badlands, I hear, got some good stuff. But again, written by creator, written by creator, written by. So, how much of this did he actually write, right? How much of this was he actually involved in the production of, That's what you have to look at. So Wednesday, I mean, written, series created by. So he's one of the big producer guys, showrunners that's approving this. Shanghai Dawn. I mean, I'm scared. I'm scared of that movie, man. I'm scared of the idea of that. I should not be scared of the idea. The continuing adventures of former Chinese Imperial Guard Chan Wang and American bandit Roy O'Bannon. That is a third Shanghai movie. I love Shanghai Noon. I like Shanghai Nights. Not as good as Shanghai Noon, but still pretty fucking awesome because it's Jackie Chan and Will Ferrell, or not Will Ferrell, fucking Owen Wilson. I always confuse the two. They're both blonde. Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan, doing stuff with the Western genre, doing Western martial arts comedy. Fucking hilarious. I love that shit. This concerns the shit out of me because modern writing blows, and I don't need them fucking up characters in Shanghai Noon. Because the problem is not that, because a lot of people have this misconception that when somebody makes something new, that it's fine and it's somehow disconnected from the old thing, and that if the new thing is bad, you still have the old thing. Problem with that theory. If the new thing is highly advertised and I watch it and it's bad, it's like fucking terribly bad, right? And there's a lot of controversy around it, or there's a lot of bullshit going on around it. Guess what? My brain holds on to all that bullshit, because that's how the human brain works. We hold on to negativity easily. So if I hear a bunch of negative shit about it, and I watch it, and I get a bunch of negative shit, that's creepy as fuck. If I watch it, and I get a bunch of negative feelings about it, guess what? When I go back to look at the characters, I look at them and I go, oh, I can't watch this, because now I'm thinking about all the shit that's going to happen to them in the future. How it's going to become this new thing, and how everybody fucking hates the old thing and the new thing. You see the problem? All this shit, and it ruins the experience for you. Exact thing happened to me on Captain America. At this point, I don't think I can probably ever watch Captain America again. Not because of anything that the actor did. Not that anything that the, is anything super wrong with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? That's not, the overarching thing of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I don't have a huge problem with. It's just the controversy around him getting the shield, and if you don't like Sam Wilson being the new Captain America, you must therefore be a racist, and all this other shit that gets piled on top of mediocre writing, because the best parts of that were, I'm working on a video talking about John Walker, and why he's like the best part of that show, or at least the least, or the most tolerable part of the show, let's say. Not saying he's the best, he's a super great guy or anything, but that he's the most tolerable out of all the characters. And, that's the thing, is I have all those feelings, and then I go back and I tried to watch Captain America, the first Avenger. And 5 minutes in, I'm thinking, oh, I can't see Steve anymore, because if I try to watch Steve, I think of what's going to happen to his character in the future, and what's going to happen to the mantle of Captain America, and all this shit. And now I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about the movie. This is the problem with ruining old things with new things that are based on old things, right? So then here's Alfred Goff. Let's see. This is Alfred Goff. So here's Miles Miller. It looks like him and Goff have been together on some stuff. Yeah, because it looks like they basically co-wrote together. They did Spider-Man 2, they did Smallville, they did Into the Badlands, they did I Am Number 4. A lot of these are crossing over. Wednesday they worked on together, and a lot of this is the same shit, right, that we on Alfred Goff's page. Except I Am Number 4. Yeah, it's basically the exact same lineup. Actually, that is weird. Why is that the same lineup? I don't know. It's exceedingly weird. Why is that the same lineup? I don't know. That should be different. Hold on. Like, something should have been different. Unless they've only ever worked together, which is highly concerning, actually. I don't know if IMDb maybe has this wrong, but I mean, it seems like maybe, yeah, it seems like maybe there's one or two things that Goff did on his own, like the Charlie Angels thing looks different, maybe. But yeah, like he seems to have maybe done the Charlie Angels thing and the martial law thing. That's about it, differently. But yeah, so it looks like these guys are butt buddies, and they've just been connected at the hip, working on stuff together, which is fine. But that doesn't really give you a lot of range and a lot of conflicting ideas, because that means you guys think along exactly the same lines, and that you're gonna be writing the same things and approving the same things, which just doesn't add any flavor to it. You know, you're not getting any. And I guarantee there was nobody that was a fan of Addams Family in the room when they wrote this shit. I guarantee it. Like, they can say they were fans of it, but like they're gonna say shit for like modern audiences and all this, you know. And I hate it. I hate what they've done to Wednesday Addams and Gomez Addams and Pugs Adams. All this. So what are we gonna get next? Is the question. So if we have Wednesday, right? If Wednesday is successful, it's super. Let's assume it's super successful, right? Does that mean we're then gonna get a Pugsley show and a Gomez show and a Morticia show? Are they all gonna get their own thing, or are we gonna have different stuff? Is Enid gonna get a spinoff? Honest to God, cancel the second season for this. I don't give a shit. Show me what's happening with Enid. I don't care. Like, honestly, that's the fucked up part about this show, is that you don't need to know shit about the Addams Family to watch this, and you could remove the names of people and the concepts surrounding the Addams Family of like Thing and Lurch and all these memberberry type things. Of remember when they did this, and remember when they said that. Like, there's literally a joke. It's a decent joke where they're in the coffee shop and you know, she rings the bell to get Tyler's attention. He comes from the back room and he goes, "You rang," and which is, you know, call back to Lurch. And again, my brain went, "Aha, funny," but on a conscious level, I was like, "Wait, that's fucking nostalgia bait. That's Memberberry's bullshit. That don't count as a joke. You're just rehashing, you know." So that's the problem. Is you could have made this. I would have actually liked this series. I, honest to God, probably would have liked this series a little bit more if the writing was not as weak, and that writing wouldn't have been as weak if they weren't trying to push this Wednesday Addams angle, right? You could have made it any other character with any other background, and it would have been fine. You don't need to change anything about the town. The town can remain exactly the same. Just change the Addams Family. Take the Addams out of it. Don't call them the Addams. Call them something else, you know? But don't do it like so close that it's basically the Addams. Just make it like a different thing. No Pugsley. We don't need Pugsley. We don't need Lurch, right? We could just have an eccentric man and his wife, and they send their daughter, who is maybe, I don't know, like, not like them, right? So, like, he's a successful businessman. His wife is, I don't know, a fucking real estate agent or a homemaker or something. And so they've tried everything, and their daughter is acting up in school and all this, and she's just not right for the place. There's something off about their daughter, you know? And so they need somewhere to send her. And they hear about this place Nevermore, and they send her to Nevermore. But then there's like this thing at Nevermore, and and she tries to tell her parents, and she tries to tell the other adults, and everyone thinks that she's just acting out, right? Oh, there's this monster. I saw it. You know, it's like, no, we know you lie. We know you do. Boy that cried wolf type stuff. You could have done that entire series, and I would have been fine with it, right? It would have, you got to fix some of the writing stuff still. Some of the contrived writing got to get the fuck out of here. You got to write this better. But it would have at least gone up, I don't know, a good 2 points automatically for not making me think of the Addams Family. Because when you make it the Addams Family, I have expectations of that. I have expectations that have been set by John Astin and Raul Julia and all the other actors, and you know, all this. And I mention them just because it's how Gomez comes out. Gomez is a perfect fucking like test of how this show was gonna fucking suck. And you know, John Astin, good. Raul Julia, good. Luis Guzman, not so good, man. Okay? It just blows because you know what it's supposed to be. You know the potential it could go to. You know how great it could be. And you just aren't getting there, right? It is tripping at the finish line. It is fumbling the ball. It is just it's like somebody with a massive amounts of talent in something, and they never explore that thing. or they just do it as a hobby and not as a career, you know? It's this potential for greatness, and you just can't get over the feeling that something is wrong, you know, that something's off. So, yeah. Anyway, before we end this, I do want to plug the original show real quick. So, if you guys don't know about this, this is one of my favorite sites. I would say probably my favorite streaming site. Not sponsored or anything. I just love this site. As you can see, there's a plethora of stuff on here. So, I got some stuff on, you know, I got recommendations. I've got an account and everything. Just because it's, you know, whatever. Dr. Sleep is on here. They put some bangers on here. Here's the Book of Eli, Farscape, Black Mass. I hear Black Mass is good. Sister Sister. Anybody seen Sister Sister in years? I haven't. It's on here. I can watch it. Balls of Fury. I've watched this incessantly ever since I started really watching Tubi. And I'm like, oh, Balls of Fury. I fucking love Balls of Fury. It's a hilarious movie. Graduation Day. Like, so many of these. I mean, they have documentaries. They have a lot of great documentary stuff. It's fantastic. A lot of this is already on my list. Let's see what else. Oh, God. They've got Rollerball. This is the 2001 Rollerball. But I bet if we look at it, are we going to get the old school Rollerball? Because this is the 2001 Rollerball. If we go down here, I mean, this is one thing I really love about Tubi, though. Just to plug it some more. See, there's the original Rollerball. They don't just have the remake of something. They have the original. I would suggest the original. I tried watching the 2001 Rollerball. I couldn't get past like 20 minutes. It was boring to me. This one's really interesting. There's stuff about like corporations and athleticism and defiance against societal standards and shit. It's a really interesting movie about an athlete in the future that plays this death game of rollerball, and it's really fucking cool. Bulletproof Monk, love that movie. But this is really cool. Is when they put movies on here. Have you ever been on like Netflix or something, and you're like, you know, oh damn, they have the sequel, but they don't have the first movie, or they have the third movie, but not the first two, right? That shit is fucking annoying, isn't it? Tubi always makes sure that if they put something on their catalog, that they get all of it. RoboCop 2. Hold on. RoboCop 3. RoboCop 2 and 3, terrible films, right? I didn't even watch RoboCop. I tried watching RoboCop 3, lost me in the first 10 minutes, complete farce, right? They're fucking Double Dragon on here. Where else are you going to watch Double Dragon, right? And so it's just a great fucking thing, man. Like, you got all kinds of documentaries. You got Duck Dynasties on here. And obviously, it's a rotating catalog with any streaming service, so some of these might not be on there when you look for it. But I guarantee you look through some of this shit, and it is fucking, like, there's so much to look through. Like, you've got all these genres. You've got it by network specifically. You've got, like, kind of some live channel stuff going on. What else you got? You got new releases recently added, right? So if we look for new releases, what do we get? Mortal Engines. Love that movie. Not super great, but I like it. It's a really good movie. They have the entire John Wick trilogy right now. 1, 2, and 3. Watched them back to back because I love that fucking trilogy. Let's see. Hell's Kitchen, Sleepy Hollow, The Gifted. I don't know what The Gifted is. Looks like some X-Men bullshit. Boondock Saints. Doblado. What's doblado? Doblado meaning in Spanish? Ah, yeah, doblado. Probably meaning dubbed in Spanish. So Boondock Saints in Spanish if you want it in Spanish. Boondock Saints, great movie. The Founder. It's a really eye-opening dramatization of the founder of McDonald's. Like, these are all relatively new products, man. Hey, there's the Shannara Chronicles in Espanol. Girl with All the Gifts. That's another recent one. Let's see. There's so many. Like, these are, like, new releases, but, like, some of these can be a couple of years older, but hey, it's new. It's new-ish. It's not, like, 20 years old stuff. So, I mean, Blind Spotting, I hear, is really good. I'm not a fan of those movies particularly myself, but, you know, hey, if you're into it, there it is. Professor Marston and the Wonder Woman, right? This is documentary drama thing about, like, the guy that created Wonder Woman and his inspiration for it, right? Let's see, Missing Link. I hear that's a good animated film. Actually, I need to put that on my list. There we go. Let's see, what else? What do we got? You guys can just look through it. It's crazy. Dark Crimes. It had something with Jim Carrey. It's a thriller crime thing from 2018 I never heard of. Cool. If you're into that, have fun. You know, I'm into that, just not with Jim Carrey. There's something called Office Uprising. I don't fucking know what that is. It's a comedy horror movie. You can go down the list, guys. Look at how many. There's so much here to pick from. And that's just the new releases. So if we look at recently added, I mean, there's just option after option. And this is another thing they do is in certain categories they'll group these together, so that they're all together when you scroll. So if you see 1, then 2 and 3 are right next to it, which is pretty good. Let's see, Django, fucking fantastic. Love Django. If we click on Django, does he have any other things from Tarantino on? Let's see. Do we have any other Tarantino movies? Not particularly. We have Tombstone. Yeah, we have Half Baked. So if you're into comedies, there's Half Baked. Dazed and Confused, The Sitter, The Pest. Let's see. I mean, basically anything you could think of, right? And if they don't have something specifically that you want, they'll probably have something that matches the vibe of something you want to watch. So, ooh, the Animation Outlaws. I need to watch that. Thank you. Let's see, what else? I mean, there's Predators and Matrix. You want some action, guys? We got action. Rundown, Inception, Django, Matrix, Predators, Book of Eli, Tombstone, The Last Witch Hunter. I haven't seen that one. I heard bad things, so I'm not going to bother watching it. It's not... I've seen some clips from it. It doesn't impress me too much. Farscape. Can't recommend Farscape highly enough. Impact, Salt, Buck Rogers. The original Buck Rogers TV show from 1979. It's on my list already. I don't even have to add it to it. Bulletproof Monk, great movie. Battlestar Galactica, original from 1979. The classic. They specify the classic one. RoboCop 2, Red vs. Blue. This is like the first 2 seasons of Red vs. Blue just on here, which is great. They need to add the rest of them, obviously, but, you know, Rollerball, second Matrix. So they have the whole Matrix trilogy on here. The Arrival, The Ninja Immovable Heart. Excuse me, what the fuck is this? Trained member ninja is captured, tortured. He must use all of his training in order to escape. Yo, that's going on the list. Oh wait, what was that? The Punished. Ooh, I'm adding that to the list. Forward Onto Dawn. Halo 4's Forward Onto Dawn. I fucking love that movie. It's a nice little hour and a half little, you know, movie. Nice little feature length. It's great. Street Fighter. The Street Fighter movie is on here. This is just the action category. Underworld. Right? In Search of the Last Action Hero. Gonna add that one to the list. I'm on a documentary kick lately, if you can't tell. I'm big on the documentaries. Mutant Chronicles. That's on my list. Haven't watched it yet. Librarian. This is fun. This goes into a series. So these are like movies to go with the series. The Librarians, plural. Which is kind of cool. It's kind of like an Indiana Jones meets Warehouse 13 type of thing. It's a fun character. Let's see. Last Starship and Days, RoboCop Meltdown. I don't know what the hell RoboCop Meltdown is, but okay. Never heard of it, but it's there. Dark Band. This is actually one that I've been meaning to watch. It's on my list. Like, this is all just action, guys. Fall of Reach. That's also fantastic. Let's see. There's The Addams Family that I've been watching the shit out of. Toy Store Near You. A great little documentary series. Well, it's documentary slice of life type thing of like, here's some people, they explore local toy stores, basically. They go to each episode is about a specific local toy store, not a big corporation thing, you know. This is good. Fanboy Confessional. That's a nice little documentary series from Canada. Fanboys the movie. This is about some guys wanting to break into George Lucas's house and steal the print of Phantom Menace because their friend is dying of cancer and he won't live long enough to see the movie release. It's a fucking trip, dude. This movie's so funny. It's so great. It's absolutely just got this vibe of the 2000s, man. Like that 2001 type energy. Love it. Let's see. Bobby Z, this one I just recently put on. So these are all continue watching. You know, Adventures of Pluto Nash. I actually rewatched it, and Pluto Nash is a pretty fun movie when you rewatch it as an adult and just kind of appreciate it for what it is, instead of being like, oh, it's not this super great movie. It's like, no, it's just a nice little thing, you know, nice little or not Pulp Fiction, but like Pulp Hero thing. Kids in the Hall, so like their category of comedy is on here. Let's see. I'm gonna do one more click and see if we find anything decent that I would want to watch. 305. Yeah. I don't know what this is. 305. 5 better than 300. Like, it's clearly some parody or some bullshit mocking through it. Planet Terror. I haven't seen this in years. I love this movie. This is a grindhouse film that Tarantino did. That was supposed to go back to back with. Or did Tarantino do this? I don't think Tarantino did this one. Tarantino did Death Proof, and then some other guy I think did Planet Terror. And they're supposed to go together as part of a double screening, like a double feature, back to back. Max Reload, Nether Blasters, gotta watch that one. Let's see, what else? Tank Girl, Cobbler, Body Slam, Ping Pong Playa. So many options. There's a lot of these like B movie things from the 80s, like Galaxina, Max Headroom, right? What else? What else do we got on here? What's good? Son of the Mask. Like, even if you want absolute garbage films, they're here. I do kind of find Son of the Mask a little bit. It's like some parts of it are kind of funny in a really cringy way. But here we are. The original Flintstones cartoon from the 1960s. They have Not Another Sci-Fi Movie, which is a comedy, parody of that. So many things. The Peacemakers. I don't fucking know what this is. That looks cool though. Look at the box art. The box art here is always good. ICP apparently has a movie, like a Western parody movie they did, which is fucking funny. I haven't watched it. The idea of it's hilarious to me. The original Batman series, Alf. Fucking in this comedy category is nuts, guys. You got all kinds of stuff. Balls of Fury. I can't recommend Balls of Fury highly enough. Go watch it. It's fucking hilarious. This is 100% free. What's the catch? They have some ads. It's not a big deal. You'll get shit. When I watch an Addams Family episode, it's like 25 minutes long, and maybe 2 to 3 minutes out of that total time is ads. It's not a big deal at all. Ooh, excuse me. It's not like cable where you have a 30-minute window to watch something, but 8 minutes of that is taken up by advertisers. Like, it's just great. Drop in. You don't even have to make, if you want, you can make an account and do stuff, but you don't have to. You can always just drop in, watch some stuff, and the account's really just there if you want to make a list, like a little wish list of like, hey, I need to watch this later, a little watch list. There you go. So yeah, I would recommend this. Fuck Wednesday, fuck all this other garbage coming out of here. Go on to Tubi, go on to Pluto TV. I'll show you guys that one too. So there's Tubi and then there's Pluto TV is a nice one too. So Pluto TV is over here. So Pluto TV is actually kind of really interesting to me. Because they have on-demand stuff, right? So you can see it's kind of the same thing. You watch something on demand. Now the ads are a little bit more obnoxious on Tubi, but they have some really cool stuff sometimes, like The Crow, right? So if you can't find something on Tubi, and then you come over to Pluto, and Pluto has a little bit worse ads, but not terrible, not crazy. It's not any worse than something you'd find on cable, which is what they're basically trying to emulate. You got like all the Transformers movies on here. So if you're a Michael Bay fan, you like the Transformers, there you go. Saving Private Ryan on demand. You can just fucking watch them. It's great. And again, it's another free one. You can just drop in and watch some stuff. If you're just like, I don't care what I watch, I'll let the TV pick for me what's on. Let's see. All kinds of stuff is on. Sometimes they have whole channels dedicated to stuff. So like some of this stuff is by cult films, flicks of fury. Those are usually like, fucking martial arts stuff. Asylum. This is like their horror section, right? Let's see. They've got like ambient sounds for the holidays, right? So you got like fireplaces and stuff. That's the cool stuff, is they just do all kinds of stuff like that. Paramount Plus picks. So Scorpion, Diagnosis Murder. The Walking Dead has its own channel. Like, so if you're big on The Walking Dead, just throw that on, and there you go. Walking Dead all day, all the time. There's actually an amazing channel I want to show you guys on this one, which is so cool. Where is it? I think it's in entertainment, actually. So there's Star Trek. This isn't the one I want to show you, but we're going down the list here. Star Trek has its own channel, so you'll see on there Star Trek Next Generation mostly. Sometimes you'll get Voyager, sometimes you'll get Enterprise, depends on what the schedule is. Sci-Fi, the Sci-Fi channel's on here, so whatever's playing on Sci-Fi is playing on here. Stargate, so you'll get either SG-1 or Atlantis, so that's great. Sometimes you'll get the movies from them as well, which is pretty cool. Where's the fucking thing, man? I can't find it now, and it's pissing me off. Daytime TV, comedy, classic, home, food. Holy shit, where is it? I think is it home? Or is it lifestyle culture? I think it's lifestyle culture, maybe. Yes, the Bob Ross channel. If you love the Joy of Painting series from Bob Ross, you can just drop it and watch it. Here, I'll show you how easy it is. You click on it. It has this nice picture, so you can like actually go back to live TV. Well, you can do this, right? So here's the end of the episode, right? So we can go back to live TV here. If we, how do I get the button? I don't use Pluto as much as I use Tubi. So yeah, here we go. Guide. How do I get back? Here's the guide button. You can still continue watching whatever you're watching. It just goes down here, nice picture in picture, and you can just go along and look for stuff. My personal favorites that I would recommend are the classic TV channels. If you do use Pluto TV, use it to binge some stuff. A lot of these shows are made as episodes. They weren't serials. They were just episodes, self-contained. So, that's what they did back in the day. Look, the Addams Family has their own channel here. So you can just drop in and watch the Addams Family. Here you go. Morticia the Breadwinner. Season 1, episode 26. I'm not onto that. Spoilers, so. But it's episodic, so it doesn't really matter. So there's the Addams Family. It's playing right down there while I look for other stuff. Matlock has his own channel. Love Boat has its own channel. All these classic shows tend to have their own channel, just 24/7, just that one show. Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke's great. However, they also have... No, no, there it is. The Rifleman. There we go. Like, Rifleman's on here. Where is it? Oh, yeah, Wanted Dead or Alive. That's the one I'm looking for. They have the Western channel, and then they have 3 of the top Westerns get their own channels dedicated to them. This is the one with the French, or with the Foreign Legion guys sneaking into Mexico. Okay, so this is a great episode. See? I think this is fun. Now, I'm going to get into all kinds of trouble for showing you guys that, because YouTube hates fun, and YouTube hates me promoting that, because it shows clips from things that are like 10 seconds long, and YouTube gets pissy. But I don't care, it's too important, I'll share it anyway. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then do the usual. Like, subscribe, check out my streams. I will see you guys in the next video. Reap the Ranger, signing off.